Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Starting a little bit late today because somebody slept in. Hi, Jer. Hi, KK. Hi, Swampling Lover. Hi, Silver. Working on a Sunday. That sucks. Sundays are usually slow, at least. Hi, Sparrow. Okay, have a good one, Swampling. Thanks for saying hi. Writing. What are you writing? I got the tequila out for this one because we're venturing a little bit into a topic I usually don't venture into with Lily. But I think it's time. Stuff for class, post to code a webcomic. Oh, cool. We had a conversation in Malcolm's server about DID one time. I'm glad to see you're still making videos. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Thank you. I try to cover. I've been trying to be fair with Lily and like take her where she is and like analyze her media criticisms, but apparently people are really mad about that. So, and like the people the people that like Lily are mad about that I'm only doing her media criticisms. So, yeah. If you like me and you don't follow her already, you should follow Sai also. She does similar stuff but covers I would say she's a better streamer than I am. She's much more experienced. And she covers different media than I do. So if you like me, you'll definitely like Sai. I think we are going to get started. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna let that keep playing. So I'm gonna talk about today. I want to go over a couple things, and the first thing I want to do is I want to the Legend of Korra stream once I. You're gonna do a Legend of Korra stream once you finish. That's awesome. Been a fan upon years. She's guilty pleasure for me. I don't actually like Lily. I like other people's criticism of her just as much as her. I'm just as in the YouTube hole. I watch all the people. Understandable. I won't shame people that watch Lily watching my streams. But I would like to. Who is more stable, Lily fans or Drake fans? Look, I'm not gonna touch the Drake stuff. That's not my culture. It's not my thing. So touching the Drake stuff. Um, well, it's a question that we're going to be asking the Lily cult of personality, but first I want to address something. People are wondering why me and also Sai. I can't really speak. I can't. Well, we've had a conversation, so I know the answer. Um, why we're not covering the drama video, so called the allegation video that Lily put out, and it's because we and I'll just say me. I never got into this to criticize or to look into Lily's allegations. I was not interested in that. I got into this because I've had a big problem with the way media analysis has been handled for quite a while now. And I wanted to start making videos about that and start, being the analysis video I wanted to see in the world. And Lily Orchard is just basically everything that I hate about media analysis right now. Yeah, and it's not really my circus, but I've had like Lily positive people, like people that like Lily get mad at me for not covering the drama video. And I watched it. Um, I watched it and I'm not impressed. I'm not gonna watch it today. um, it's too much. It's a lot. I will comment on a couple things. Her She doesn't provide any actual evidence. It's basically just a background picture of WoW the whole time. And I think it's very distasteful that for her section about her sister, that she used the coffin of Andy and Lele visuals and music. If Lily was telling the truth, I think she would treat that with a lot more sensitivity, for one. I think it's pretty clear she's not telling the truth. I think that Courtney was telling the truth initially and Lily's trying to Darvo her. Um and in that case it's especially distasteful that she used the coffin of Andy and Lele visuals and music. I like the coffin of Andy and Lele, but I wouldn't like associate that with someone like Courtney. I think that's really messed up. It's an origin story about a pair of cannibal serial killers, like come on. All right, I'm gonna read the back chat. I am mhm, editing a gay AMV of Brideshead Revisited. Than most of y'all, to be honest. I will say she's very smug, changing her banner to what it is now and making me believe the victims. It makes me believe the victims more than her. Her issue is poisoning the well for years with her bad faith critiques. Plus, it's funny to clown on her opinions. Yeah, I gave it about 15 minutes until I started skimming through it to the end while it goes off the rails. I think they want to bury it. Yeah, I'm one of the ones that did follow the drama a lot because I did used to follow her and then got burned mostly because of her Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Lily would never do what? Be sensitive. Oh, okay. I've seen the whole thing. It's very bad faith. I could basically pinpoint where she lies, but people have already debunked her lies, so it's like, what's the point? Yeah, the Andy and Lele stuff was really uncomfortable. Um, I feel like it's really fucked up to associate real people with fictional people when you're talking about real abuse allegations. Um, and also, I think it's weird because like keeps on saying she's like Courtney. She's Courtney is like Ashley, but Ashley is like not the one with incestuous feelings. Like she has problems with boundaries, but it's Andrew that has the incestuous feelings. Um, but anyway. So I think that's as much as I want to talk about that video on its own. What I'm really interested in doing is um, analyzing Lily Orchard using the bite model. Uh, so, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Well, so is the bite model. So, trademarked. And I'm going to say this first and foremost. I am not an expert on cults. My credentials when it comes to this is I used to be a fundamentalist Christian all throughout my childhood and my teenage years up until I was about 18, and I deconstructed, and then in my 20s I became an atheist. So deconstruction means that like I question my faith, and like I kind of stop believing it the way that everybody told me to believe it, and I start thinking for myself, and I kind of like reassess how I felt about God at the time and started to be like, well, I think there's a God still, but I don't think he's like the way that you guys think he is. And then when I was in my 20s, I'm like, yeah, God doesn't exist. There's no reason for me to believe in God, so I don't. Um, but there's different kinds of cults. And Lily, I think we're going to examine this as a cult of personality. And the old model of actually, let me check for a second. What was I can't remember what the old model. Yeah. I'm not sure what the old one was called, but it didn't give room for things like cult of personalities. It was really only for religions. But this accounts for like cult of personalities, like for celebrities and people like Donald Trump and that sort of thing. So many think of mind control as an ambiguous, mystical process that is difficult to define. Mind control refers to a specific set of methods and techniques, such as hypnosis or thought stopping, that influence how a person thinks, feels, and acts. Stephen Hassan developed the BITE model to describe cults' specific methods to recruit and maintain control over people. BITE stands for behavior, information, thought, and emotional control. The BITE model should be used within the influence continuum model to help determine authoritarian control. Not every group or relationship uses every one of these. Some are universal, such as deception, information control, indoctrinating people to distrust critics and former members, or installing phobias to make people afraid of questioning or leaving. My prediction is that Lily might meet all of them except for emotional. Um, I don't think she'll meet the emotional thing. So I don't think I have my doubts that Lily will fully meet cult of personality status just because there's no emotional control there. But we'll see. Okay. Just reading back in chat. Seeing this makes me want to check out this game and then see what she has to say. Because I feel like she missed the point. She absolutely missed the point. If you want to actually go on my channel, if you go into my playlists, I have a playlist where I play The Coffin of Andy and Lele. There's 3 videos. So they're a little bit long, but I go through the whole game. And Coffin of Andy and Lele is actually my favorite game of 2024 so far. So it's like half threatening essence of thought, half talking about her past, and talking about her past, bringing up new allegations against her sister, like saying she assaulted her, but it's mostly old stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Coffin of Andy and Lele is like a puzzle solving game, like walk around RPG sort of a situation. It is not free, but it's not very expensive. It is an indie game. Why believe in God when you can believe in dog? Leah Convey, Lily, and Poppy have such similar vibes in how they attract people into their circle. I didn't know you were streaming today. What did I miss? I haven't missed a lot. We're gonna talk about the bite model and how it applies to Lily. I feel like there is cause because I don't think her fans want to be yelled at. Should be YouTube rules around this kind of thing. Maybe how they incorporate it and how it could definitely lead to overpolicing. Yeah, Lily's more like a henchman of a cult rather than a high-ranking member of a cult. We'll see. Okay. So basically, we've got these points, and we have to meet a certain threshold, I believe. So let's see. This is an internet situation, but we're going to go through it. Okay. Regulate individuals' physical reality. I would say that's not true. Lily does not have the power to, you know, dictate where, how, and with whom the members live and associate with. I would say no. Eh, she doesn't want. She very much discourages who you can be friends with. Like, don't go near this person. Like, she tried to discourage. I remember she tried to discourage KP from reaching out to Courtney. She's very much a fan of like, yeah, don't associate with this person. I'm probably not going to be reacting to anything from her today. We're going through something called the bite model to analyze if Lily has a cult of personality. I would say probably not, but I would say that it's like it behooves us to look at it because of some of the behaviors are cult like. So that's my prediction is that probably not a cult of personality, but probably cult like behavior. And that's different. I'm also not an expert in cults. I just have lived in one. So I'm only kind of going at this from a lived experience rather than an expert. All right. Control types of clothing and hairstyles? Absolutely not. Regulate diet? No. Manipulation and deprivation of sleep? No. But I know that in her inner circle, she can sometimes be really demanding of people's attention. And if they don't like pay attention to her right now, she can get a little pissy about it. What is a cult of personality? It's basically a cult that centers around a person rather than a god or a movement. Um, so that's kind of the difference. So like the group of people that follow Trump, for example, is a cult of personality. Lily has rallied people into bullying an artist that made fan art of her puppet in a style she didn't like. Where does that stunt put her on the bite model? We'll get to that. Um, Financial exploitation, manipulation, or dependence. I would say no. Um, she will not really associate with people in the same way as you don't aren't in her Discord server, and her Discord server, like the pay tier is exceptionally high in comparison to other people that run public Discord servers for their channels, I've noticed. Um, Major time spent with group indoctrination rituals and our self indoctrination, including the internet. I would say yes. I would say yes on 9. Let's take a hold on. Notepad. I would say we've got if I could just um add another source, window capture. so that I can keep track of it. Notepad. Done. We're just gonna have this little guy. We're gonna keep it right here, I think. We'll keep it right here. And I will make the ooh, that's way too big. Font. I think that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so we definitely got. Bring you over here. Oh, it's even bigger now. That's great. So you got 1 point for behavior. I didn't realize that was Leo and Lily friends? I didn't know that. Well, let's use tick marks. All right, so 2 and I think 9. Major time spent with group indoctrination and rituals and or self-indoctrination, including through the internet. I would say that yes. I would say yes on that one. I would argue that like the whole point is to watch Lily's videos and like absorb her opinions, and that's how you really get into it. Yeah, it's news to me too. But like she kicked Leo out, I think, because he was friends of FNGR. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. They were never friends. Okay. All right. Permission required for major decisions. I would say no. Rewards and punishment used to modify behaviors, both positive and negative. I would say yes. Um, I would say that those are mostly emotional rewards and like and punishments, but hello, welcome to the chat. Discourage individualism, encourage groupthink. Absolutely. Absolutely encouraging groupthink. That's the whole point. That's why we're here. So groupthink. Hold on a second. All right. Opting can conform with the consensus views rather than engage in critical thinking. If you don't agree with Lily, you are not welcome to be around Lily. That's kind of the whole problem, isn't it? It's a phenomenon. Get out of here. Yeah. Not the ads. Not the ads, dude. All right. So it's a phenomenon that occurs when a group of individuals reaches a consensus without critical reasoning of evaluation of the consequences or alternatives. Groupthink is based on a common desire not to upset the balance of a group of people. This desire creates a dynamic within a group whereby creativity and individuality tend to be stifled in order to avoid conflict. So, I think that groupthink describes the whole Lily problem to a T, and I would say that those opinions tend to align heavily with what Lily thinks. If you do not agree with her, she will delete your comment. She will kick you out of her Discord. Yeah. So I would say that that's my big thing. We're going to be coming back to groupthink a couple times in this list. But she definitely she definitely discourages individualism and encourages groupthink. Leo blamed Crimson Mayhem, Lily blamed Josh Scorcher, and Toon Critic's other former friends. Yeah, because they both end up blaming the wrong person for Toon Critic never going to prison. I don't know anything. I am not a drama YouTuber. I am not someone that follows drama very often. Um, I kind of fell ass first into the Lily drama because I was like, I want to criticize this person's media takes because I don't like how media analysis is working in modern YouTube and in general. It's very thoughtless. Both of them are idiots. The actual reason for TK/Zach never going to jail is the call Josh/Zach's other ex friends with him was leaked. Yeah, isn't that like there's like a problem with like evidence, like it can color people's opinions or something? Kays was able to delete a shit ton of evidence against him. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think like in cases where like this person needs to go to jail, the best thing to do is to call the cops. um, yeah. You think the video muddies the waters too. Yeah. I think we're far past that with Lily, honestly. All right. Rewards and punishments. Wait, hold on. We already did that one. 13. Imposed. I'm not a drama YouTuber either. I'm an experony animation buff who used to be a fan of Lily's. Yeah. That makes sense. I think a lot of people are in that boat. Howdy. Hey, Brits. Welcome to the stream. Wow. Welcome. I am honored. If you have anything to comment about this, Brit, I would very much like to hear it because as somebody that was kind of in their inner circle for a while, I think that your opinions on this really, really matter. We are on number 13 right now. 12, we absolutely agree that Lily discourages individualism and includes groupthink. We're on 13 and proposes rigid rules and regulations. I would say, I would say no. Um, there's not really. I don't think there's really rules about being a Lily fan. Punishes disobedience by physical abuse. No, I would say not. Um, threaten harm to family and friends. Yeah. Well, to your family and friends, no, but she's very threatening. Oh, the short you made calling out her hypocrisy killed me. Oh, thank you. I'm very proud of that. I'd say 15 and 16, no. Because I thought this was meant something else, but it's like, I'm gonna hurt your family if you don't do what I tell you to do. Are the diamonds a cult? No. No, they are not. Um, well, maybe. I don't know. I would say probably not. Well, I would say you can't really do a one-to-one like that on a cartoon. She has threatened other people's families before. Threatened to beat up Blake's ex-wife, and if I recall correctly, made hollow threats against Lily's family as well. Okay. That's fucked up. Um, interesting. Encourage and engage in corporal punishment. I don't think so. Instill dependency and obedience. I would say probably not. not on a group level. It's hard to it's hard for somebody like Lily to, I think, instill dependency other than like an emotional dependency. Kidnapping, no. Beating, no. Ugh. Torture, no. Rape, I mean, allegedly, we'll just add that little tick mark. I remember back when I was a fan of hers, before I found out about all the allegations, I always wanted to comment on one of her videos, but I was too scared to. If you're too scared to comment on somebody that you like, I think it's because I knew if I didn't say her opinion but worded differently, it would either get deleted or I would get dogpiled. Yeah, if you're scared to comment on somebody's video, that's messed up, dude. It's messed up. I don't like that. Yeah, let's get through the rest of this. Separation of families, no. Imprisonment, no. Murder, no. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points in the behavior section. Basically telling her audience that they'd be just as bad as the evil, bigoted stalkers if they even so much as looked at the other side of the story, is kind of instilling dependency. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we had this lovely little Discord kitten of Lily's, and I know that they're in America. They said they're in Louisiana. Joined both my server and Sai's server. I have about 300 followers right now. I am not a big channel. Sai is like a decent sized channel. She just got monetized 5 months ago, but it's also a fairly small channel. But I noticed that like this guy came to our channels when we're just mostly covering media analysis, and we're fairly small. I'm tiny. I'm absolutely tiny, itty bitty. But did not, I notice, join Kim Possible, like KP's channel or Malcolm's channel, and they were the ones actually addressing allegations. They joined Sai's server and kept calling her like a fat cow. I banned them immediately. I'm more of a small bean than Sai is. Sai. Yeah, they came to my channel, or my server. I am just a little baby. Hey, 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 stop. I'm not that little, but I only have like 300 subscribers. BT dubs, subscribe. So that I can get monetized. I just need like 200 more followers and I'm monetized. Thank you. But yeah, he kept calling Sai a fat cow. It was really cringe. And he made fun of me for he said that I was like I looked like hot topic bullshit. So there was a call with Opal Leo. Lily told everyone in the server not to do. What's gay water? It's water that makes you gay. Oh, thank you, Phoenix. Thanks for the follow. I don't know why I'm not getting alerts. I should be getting alerts. YouTube alerts. Yeah, I don't know why that's not happening. Thank you. I'm gonna give them rabies. Why would someone ask something? I don't know, but like, who's taking shots at Sai? I'm not gonna like give out their YouTube name, but yeah, it was just some nobody, and we're like, who are you, dude? He's like, I'm a Lily fan. I'm just here to fight for Lily. And I was like, okay, what do you like about Lily? And he couldn't come up with anything. All he could say was like, I like that she mocks Steven Universe. And then went on a rant about Jasper and the diamonds. Oh, hey, Aunt. Welcome. It was so weird. And it's like, then we're like, you know what? Let's just pretend he's not there. Yeah, those type of fans, like, especially because Sai's server is, like, locked behind the paywall, and he paid money to come in and bitch about Lily and tell us that, like, "Oh, you guys are abusing her," and it's just like, "Oh my god, dude." It was it's so funny. He just, like, for an hour just kept talking even though, like, we were ignoring him. It was something. Telling that none of these people will try that with me or Courtney or the other Tumblr blogs. Yeah, I think they specifically came after me and Sai because we're fairly small channels and I'm, like, tiny itty bitty. Um, they didn't go to Sai's channel until I banned them from mine. Yeah, it is commitment. It's interesting and it disturbs me. All right, so we got through behavior control with, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. Information control, I think we're gonna get a lot of points here. So let's freaking go, folks. If you're just joining me now, I'm just examining, I'm just analyzing Lily Orchard using the bite model to like as a cult of personality. My My prediction is that she won't quite make the cut, but I think it's interesting to analyze it. And my credentials is I used to be in a cult, fundamentalist Christians. So I am not coming at it as an expert, but as someone with a lived experience. So if you didn't know, that's just to catch you up. So information control. Okay, I'm gonna need a little bit of tequila. Thinking about this hurts my brain a little bit. Honestly, talking about Lily Orchard is a relief after this weekend. I have had a bunch of Mahler fans annoying me that last weekend. Oh, yeah, because you did a big video on, like, media analysis, and you're, like, living in my brain. Ant lives in my brain rent-free. If you don't follow Ant, go follow him. Anthony Gramagul. Don't make me pronounce it. Go follow Anthony. He's cool. If you're not following him already. Okay. So, information control. Deception. Deliberately withholds information. Absolutely. Distorts information to make it more acceptable. Absolutely. Systematically lies to the cult members. Do I give this 1 point or do I give it 3 points for doing all 3? What do you guys think? I think 1 point. I think we're gonna get basically all of them here. Don't write incest. Yeah, her most normie opinion is don't write incest. This sexualizes children. Were the ones she was hypocritical about. Gramuli, gram. Okay, so Gramulia. Okay, so the G is silent. Gotcha. So yeah, definitely 1 point. Minimize or discourage access to non-cult sources of information, including internet, TV, radio, books, articles, newspapers, etc. Critical information, former members. Keep members busy so they don't have time to think or investigate. Control through cell phone with texting, calls, and internet tracking. So I would say that she definitely discourages people from watching other people's videos. Um, she's very much minimizes critical thinking and she disavows like former members, like former friends. She basically has accused every person that's had a following out with her of like, yeah. Okay, so the bite model is is to analyze if something is a cult, and it stands for behavior, information, thought, and emotion. We are going through information right now. We already went through behavior. It's up on the screen. But yeah, I would say that she definitely minimizes or discourages access to other people's information. Like I said, she basically calls she at the same time she also encourages followers to watch other people and report back on why their content is bad. She's poisoning the well though. The only information that Lily hides are non-important straw man facts because they are not relevant to the topic video. That Lily, yeah. But like she does absolutely like think of like people that have gotten to her inner circle and then like left and what she says about them. All of them are abusive. All of them have like sexually abused her. Is this the bite of 87? Um sorry, I'll be serious. Like she like is there anybody that has had a falling out with her that she hasn't called somebody that like I think KP is like the person that she has the best opinion of that has had a falling out with her. And even then she doesn't accuse KP of like having like of like abusing her, but she does do this thing. She did this thing on that video where she's like, yeah, but she would come into my streams and like ask to like promote herself without like actually engaging in the video. Or she's like, or she like made that like little text thing where she's like, well, you know, KP went through things too, so she doesn't think right, but I can understand that. Like, SA87, no, target strike, bad. Woo. And all of us have come out with very similar experiences with her, even though none of us knew her. Yeah. If you keep smelling shit, check your shoes, Lily. Lily was telling people on Tumblr that KP used her. I have a question. I have a little question. One hundred 26,000 subscribers. So they have about the same following. So I don't know why KP would need to use Lily. I used to watch KP all the time. I think KP hasn't grown much as Lily, and like even then, I hate her new avatar. It's so stupid. Even then, like she's mostly stuck with like Kim Possible and My Little Pony. And she doesn't make videos as often as Lily does. So I would say that she's doing pretty good. She called KP a clout. Okay, I thought you said chaser. She was calling KP a clout chaser. Okay, that's interesting. But she doesn't chase clout. She she very clearly is just reviewing the things that she cares about. Oh, she's a Treasure Planet fan based in Epic. And so she mostly kind of does her own thing. She doesn't chase clout. I would say that KP is the opposite of a clout chaser. She talks about things that she cares about regardless of if they're popular or not. I used to watch KP back in her My Little Pony days. I don't know why I stopped watching her. I know that there was like an instance I know that there was an instance like a long time ago where people were getting like unsubscribed to people's channels. Maybe that's what happened. But yeah, she basically does whatever she wants. And I like admire her for that. Like, yeah. Watched a couple of her videos recently, but anyway. Hmm. I've been watching an anime called Chilling in Another World with Level 2 super cheat powers and it's epitome of everything Lily hates in storytelling and I like it. Epic. Alright. Yeah, I remember I stopped watching shortly after she changed to a human avatar. I don't know why. Anyway, all right. Compartmentalize information into outsider versus insider doctrines. Ensure that information is not freely accessible. Control information at different levels and missions within the group. Allow only leadership to decide who needs to know what and when. I would say that this is accurate. I would say yes, because she has like the Discord channel, that she has the Patreon, and like different levels of information. She's definitely not open with the information, and there's definitely like an insider information situation. Lily's new puppet gave me whiplash. She's bringing back her old style that she used in the very beginning of her channel. Also, like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You can't really see the thumbnails, but you can kind of see it here. She tried to give it like a cutesy look, but it also has like an hourglass figure. Like, this is not a good avatar. My opinion is that the avatar was the one in the black sweater. That was the best avatar. Brown facing aside. 1,700 criminal allegations, 0 convictions. Yeah, I got away with all my crimes, and I'm gonna brag about it. Yeah. Okay. The entire video addressing everything with no you in just hopes that no one realizes she didn't actually provide anything to counter her points. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of reminds me, and we covered like Kent Hovind last week, where he's just like, evolution is dumb and it's stupid and it's dumb and it's dumb and it's stupid. And it's like, are you gonna like provide any evidence other than saying it's stupid? uh, but it's like exactly like, listen, here my favorite description of Lily is that Lily is basically, she's basically like the youth pastor of angry gay kids. That's how I would describe Lily Orchard and how she behaves. She's like a youth pastor for angry gay children. Anyway, I remember back when I was at my peak of being a fan of Lily, I legitimately wondered why I was enjoying media. It's like, would Lily approve of this? What would she disapprove of? Is it episode? Ooh, I don't like that. Like, you should care what other people think about the things you like. All right. Encourage spying on other members, impose a buddy system to monitor and control a member, report deviant thoughts, feelings, and actions to leadership, ensure that individual behavior is monitored by the group. I think that I can't unsee it now. You hate how accurate it is. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope that lives rent free in your head forever. Um, thank you, David, for for your report. I would say, I don't know if spying is correct. Does it sound accurate? Like A, B, and C are just like examples. Ginger and Michaela report back to her on. Ooh, that's She wants her fans to keep tabs on everyone, and she does it herself sometimes. Okay. Extensive use of cult-generated information and propaganda, including newsletters, magazines, journals. Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like that's true because that's kind of the whole point. That's how she operates, is like her YouTube videos telling people what to think about media, unethical use of confession, information about sins used to disrupt and or dissolve identity boundaries, withholding forgiveness or absolution, manipulation of memory, possible false memories. So that's like what Scientologists do. So like, you got to confess your sins, and then like telling us like, actually, no, you were wrong. You did this, and yeah. I would say you think yes? I would say no on the unethical use of confession. This would be like blackmail. Like, you confess something to me, now I have that information, and now I'm going to use that information against you. Or I will like edit the confession that you gave me to make you think something else. She honestly does not have an original bone in her body when it comes to her review styles, ripping off ZP, Movie Bob, H Bomber Guy, and whoever else she regurgitates in her critiques. My entire video is about how bad media criticism creates false memories. Those videos, if you watch them enough, create a false impression of media. Yeah. That's not quite what this is about. This is about, like, um, she's done it to you next? Is it a pattern, I wonder? Wait, she tried to use information about an old relationship I was in with her and were on speaking terms to make me look crazy and unreliable. That's a bit different. That would be like if I tell, hey, Britt, when I was younger, I punched my sister in the face because she always threatened to hurt me, and I finally lashed out. Um, and then you would later down the line be like, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to tell everybody that you beat your sister. And maybe you will like manipulate to be like, actually, you were the physically abusive one. See, because you punched her. She was never actually threatening you. Like, it's that sort of thing, you know? Or if I was like, "Hey, friend, I think I got assaulted and I have weird feelings about it and I don't know what to think." And you might twist that into like, "Ah, actually, you were the one who sexually manipulated this person into touching you. So actually, you're the evil person." That's what that means. Um, it's what Scientologists do. I would not. I would say that Lily doesn't do this. Not that I've noticed, and not that I've heard. All right, we're going to the next one. So we're done with information control. We're going on to thought control. So we've got 5 points in the information control. So, require members to internalize the group's doctrine of truth, adopting the group's map of reality as reality, instill black and white thinking, decide between good versus evil, organize people into us versus them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thought control, I think, is going to be more covering that sort of thing. Change a person's name and identity. I would say no. No on that one. Speaking of Movie Bob, Lily worships the ground that Movie Bob walks on and loves all the crazy, hateful things he says on social media. You think that change a person's name and identity? I don't think so. Nothing that beyond what is ordinary, like she changed her identity because she's a woman, she's a trans woman, and like Michaela took on the name Michaela Orchard for brand recognition. But she doesn't like say like, "Hey, Lily fan, you have to go by Sister Saint um Gardevoir or whatever." You know? Like she doesn't make people change their names to be her friend. So no. Use of loaded languages and cliches which constrict knowledge, stop critical thoughts, and reduce complexities into platitudes and buzzwords. Yes, yes, yes. 100%. Um, she uses things, The Cult of Personality song at all. I do like that song. But I have not sung it right now. I don't think I will. This is serious. She very much likes to use buzzwords like Nazi, rape, abuse, racism, indigenous. Like she uses Saint G of the Unholy Gaslight. Stop. Yeah. She definitely is 100% number 3. The buzzwords. Yeah. Encourage only good and proper thoughts. Yes. Hypnotic techniques are used to alter mental states, undermine critical thinking, and even to age regressive member. I know that she role plays with people. And I would say that in a vacuum, role playing is fine. I dabble a little bit myself. I play the D&D. I like to write with people. But I wouldn't say that she like hypnotizes people. Memories are manipulated and false memories are created. This is what Nex and Anthony were saying. Yes, I do think she does that. Yeah. Hey, kid, role player, stop! Get out of here! Get out of here! Teaching thought-stopping techniques which shut down reality testing by stopping negative thoughts and allowing only positive thoughts, including denial, rationalization, justification, wishful thinking. Not chanting or meditating or praying or speaking in tongues or singing or humming, but definitely denial, rationalization, justification, and wishful thinking. I would say that thought stopping, absolutely. She does do thought stopping techniques by like making you feel like if you think about this, you're no, don't do that. Like that's bad. And just like don't listen to this, just listen to me. Rejection of rational analysis, critical thinking, and constructive criticism. Absolutely. Forbid critical questions about leader, doctrine, or policy. Absolutely. Labeling alternative belief system as illegitimate, evil, or not useful. Yes. Instill new map of reality. Yes. Let's dig into actually the map of reality stuff. You felt pretty guilty about liking elements of media she wouldn't like back in the day. Mm-hmm. Oh no, this is literally just cult shit. All right. Okay. So input from environment, language, memories, decisions, belief, values, attitude, ways of sorting information, strategies. And those are filters. Internal representation of reality, and behavior and emotional state. Yeah, I would say yes on that one. All right. So that's thought control. And I would say that Lily gets the most points there. I'm not surprised by that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 points in thought control. All right. Emotional control is next. I'm going to take a little sippy of my drink, the non alcoholic one. Lily gaslights you into thinking Steven Universe was the worst thing ever, found out that it's not nearly as bad as anyone makes it out to be. How Steven Universe managed to get everyone to collectively overreact is insane. I'll tell you why. And I noticed that Lily does this a lot. Do you ever notice that when Lily is critiquing a piece of media, if it's made by a woman, she blames everything on that woman, like Dana Terrace, Rebecca Sugar, um, Jennifer, can't remember her last name, but the person who made Frozen. Even though that she was a co-creator and there was a man that was working with her, she only ever mentions the creator when it's a woman. I think that's an interesting detail. The thing is that we are way more critical of creations that come from people that are of minorities or of oppressed groups. So women, like LGBT people, people of color, like we're so. The one author she worked on, wow, that she hated. She did blame everything on Mastodon in her Pokemon video. That's true. But I often see that she mentions women more than men in her videos, if they're the creators. And then she'll it'll be, even when she brought up Masuda, it wasn't like personal, but it gets personal with people like Rebecca and Dana Terrace and Jennifer. It gets really personal, and I think it's really messed up to do that. It's really sexist / misogynist, whatever you want to call it. And women are capable of being misogynist. I'm not saying that Lily isn't a woman. Like, women are fully capable of being misogynists. So yeah, I think that's really messed up. But the reason that we're so critical of Steven Universe is because Rebecca Sugar, non-binary Jewish woman, made it. The problem is she subscribes to both auteur theory and the idea of the perfect queer representation, the person who has to be perfect so LGBTQA folks aren't targeted by conservatives. I think it's a testament to her racism towards Asian people. It got personal in her Gen 5 segment. Okay. She also addresses women in a really weird, vitriolic way. I don't like calling people like female. It makes yeah, but it's crazy how Lily dislikes female creators when she herself is a woman. She keeps saying she's an N-log. Absolutely is an N-log. Wasn't the person that... No, Jennifer was one of the creators of Frozen. It was her and another guy. All right, so let's go through emotional control. And I don't think we're going to get a lot of points here, honestly. I personally erased female from my vocab. I use female as a adjective rather than a noun. Ferengi moment. Ferengi moment. Stop. A little bit of internalized bigotry too. Analog is not like other girls. I would say no. I don't think that Lily's misogyny is internalized. Not the way that we often talk about internalized misogyny. I would say that her internalized misogyny comes out in the way that she thinks that she has to be like this attractive figure to be taken seriously. Because she always presents herself as, oh, hi, Sai. She always presents herself as looking like very pretty in her avatars, and if she doesn't, then she gets really uncomfortable. She doesn't like it when people depict her as not being like slim and like curvy. But for the most part, I would say that her misogyny is not internalized. um, I would say that. Oh, we're not gonna. I don't want to talk about the flashing. I don't want to talk about it because it's weird. Don't look. Here's my humble little opinion. Do not show your boobs on YouTube. If I am in a space where it says, hey, don't titties aren't allowed here. I can reasonably expect not to see boobs. I can expect not to see boobs. And if you flash me boobs, there is a breakdown. There is some, I'm not going to call it anything but sexual misconduct. Even if it's 18 plus, yeah. Even if it's 18 plus, when I join an 18 plus stream, I'm thinking of like, I'm going to see like kind of an edgy video game, maybe some blood, maybe some swearing. Maybe we're talking about inappropriate content, but I do not expect to see boobs. Do not show any private parts on YouTube, period. Yes, absolutely. There's no need to. Still recovering from the Malcolm stream, real mental illness hours. I didn't get any sleep last night. Like, that messed me up, actually. That messed me up a lot. That's why I don't cover drama for the most part, and I stick to media criticism, but people keep pushing, and I'm just going to analyze it based on my knowledge and worldviews. I don't think reacting to the video is good for me. I think that would be very bad for me. Years ago, she got mad that someone drew her Sona more chubby than usual and yelled at her for it. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I've ran a lot of LGBTQA streams and never once felt compelled to flash anyone. Nor have I. Um, nor have I, Anthony. I just make you guys put up with my little grippers. 'Cause apparently I'm attracting weird people because my little toesies are out. These people cannot keep their minds in a gutter. I have a problem with my little toes. And I just think you're mean. I always find it weird when she craps all over attractive characters of things she interprets as sexualized, despite how her recent model tries to look attractive to her standards. Yeah. I also remember her NB-phobic section towards Savani because Savani was too femme-presenting to be non-binary or something, as if non-binary people owe others androgyny. Yeah. That whole video she put out is the exact sort of BS we've been having to deal with on Tumblr for years. Yeah, I bet it is. I've seen a little bit of the Tumblr stuff, but like I said, I was always more interested in the media analysis. So how's progress scheduling the D&D? I haven't done that as much. I've been, yeah. Honestly, the flashing is something that she should have pretended never happened, like with Stockholm. I don't understand why she's still acting like it's totally normal happening on YouTube. What she should have done is said, like, yeah, I did that, and I shouldn't have, and it was a bad thing for me to do, and I apologize. I've also made mistakes in my very short stay on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, I did that. I'm sorry. Like, I shouldn't have done that. That's the correct, healthy adult response. You know? Nothing as bad as that. I also run a Tumblr blog. I've got like 2,000 followers on Tumblr, which isn't huge, but it's more than I do on YouTube. But the problem with Tumblr is that they will not follow you from Tumblr to anywhere else. I think I've had like one person from my Tumblr come to a stream. One out of all 2,000 followers. It's just you can't do anything with Tumblr followers. Anyway. Alright, emotional control. Let's get into it. Manipulate and narrow the range of feelings. Some emotions and or needs are deemed evil as wrong or selfish. Yeah. Okay, can I tell you guys a secret? So this is excuse me. It's still here. And it's got 4 likes and it's 4 days old. The one a gay princess joke is overplayed. It needs a life-saving injection and more break gay princesses. Oh boy. People are so mad. That went right over your head. Oh my god. It it was a fun joke, dude. Why are you so hung up over it? She's not denouncing all straight people, she's just having fun. Can you give me a reason it upsets you just so much beyond I'm a straight black man? Why are you gonna be so out of pocket with your racism? Ah, wow! That's the problem with Twitter too. I have 10K over on Twitter and they didn't go to TikTok or YouTube. Yeah. Why did they say that? I don't know. Okay, listen. What I said, I don't know if you saw my comment, but it's I hope Disney Studios never make a gay princess movie for as long as you live. And I mean it. Racism is fine against straight men, I guess. Don't worry, she can say that she's part Native American. Ah. Okay. Back to the bite model. Allegedly. Yeah, allegedly. All of this is alleged. I make no confirmations. Everything that I say happened in Minecraft. Um, straight black man after criticizing a joke. In yeah, it is racist. Yeah, it's racist. It is racist. Uh, Lily and her fans are very racist. She thinks she's not, but she is. Um, Disney gay prince movies only. Yep. Oh, yes. Or I hope if we do get a gay princess movie, it's made by Rebecca Sugar. She'd get so mad. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the only gay princess movie that's made in Lily's lifetime is made by Rebecca Sugar? Please. Please, that would be so funny. How is Lily racist? Lily's really racist against like Asian people to start. And because I am a straight black man and found that comment pretty racist. Yeah. Um, she also like doesn't understand why Tiana was meaningful. Um, why it was a big deal for, and I'm saying this as somebody that is not a woman and isn't black, but I have many friends. I have black friends, you guys. Like no. I've heard from many black women that like both friends and creators that like having a character that doesn't have like having like a character that doesn't have to like I don't know that gets to be the princess was important to them and like cool, I believe you. Like to me she is just another princess because like I'm not going to find meaning in Tiana the same way that a young black girl is going to, but I think it's if it's important to them and then I think it's important, you know? Like to me she's just another princess, but maybe to like a young black girl, like maybe she's really important, you know? Like I think that we need to make space for those people to say the things about their own experiences and not talk over them. Imagine thinking Dana Terrace is racist when the protagonist of the Owl House is Latina. Yeah. There's a young Asian dude that got away from her over the past couple years and has talked with the utterly disgusting things she said about Japan. As an Asian person myself, I like Lego Monkey Kid, and unlike Lily, I never thought it fell off at any point. I mean, like, I think I'm a little bit too old for the Lego Monkey stuff. She brushes him off as a weeb for calling out her races, even though he's Japanese. Ooh, ugh, yucky. I read some of her stories with black characters before, and she focused a lot on the dark skin and its properties in a kind of creepy way, if I remember correctly. Lamau. Yeah, white people do that. Not black people in general do that. If I'm honest, like I'm sure I'm guilty of that in some of my writing. I think there's this desire to be inclusive, and that sometimes we go a little bit too far with it. I don't think I've ever been as bad as Lily, but I'm sure that I've made some mistakes writing dark-skinned characters. Okay, I didn't say too old for Lego. I fucking love Lego. I said I think those Lego shit like Ninjago and like Monkey Kid and stuff, I think that was a little bit past my time. You know what I mean? Does not have the respect or knowledge to other cultures that aren't from places she lives in, yet she calls anime fans weebs for defending and being respectful towards Japan's culture. Sounds fetishy, it's really bizarre. Lisa's discussing shit about Japan even in her videos. Yep. No, absolutely. Has Lily Orchard ever written anything that wasn't creepy? Mm. The guide I always use with skin tone is that if you're comparing the skin to a food or a drink, don't. Yeah, I tend to avoid that too, but I think there's other problems that I think that everybody can, everybody is, everybody can always educate themselves more on these matters. Anyway, so we're actually going to get back into the emotional part. Uh, anyway, teach emotion stopping techniques to block feelings of homesickness, anger, or doubt. I wouldn't say that necessarily. Make the person feel that problems are always their own fault, never the leader's or the group's fault. Yes, absolutely. Promote feelings of guilt or unworthiness, such as identity guilt. Yes. You are not living up to your potential. Your family is deficient. Your past is suspect. Yes. Your affiliations are unwise. Yes. Your thoughts, feelings, actions are irrelevant or social. Yes. Social guilt. Yes. Historical guilt. Yes. I would say absolutely. She likes Pokemon but hates Japan. She likes like some of the things that came out when she was a kid that were translated into English. But the closer in proximity something gets to Japan, she doesn't like it. Tiana is so much more than just a princess for black women. She's a powerful testimony to African American women working hard to earn her dream and honor her and her father's dream. Yeah. I would also say that like what I got out of the movie was that like yes, like Tiana is a hardworking person and she deserves for her hard work to get rewarded, but it's also like it's not, life isn't just about hard work. Um, so, you've got to, like, if you work hard and you get your reward, but you have nothing else in life, you're not going to be happy. And I hate that, like, people have reduced it to Tiana's mom wanting wanting her to have grandkids. That's silly. Lily is on record saying that any anime that wasn't dubbed by 4Kids Entertainment is made only for weebs. Okay, you know what? I don't think Sai covered the whole video. I didn't stick around to watch it, but I think I might watch the anime ranking video because I know it'll make me mad. We'll do that as a palate cleanser after the bite model. I remember why she's creepy. She was blushing, but it was nearly impossible to notice due to her dark skin, like she was describing a dark elf character or something. Okay. That's weird. Alright. Instill fear, such as a fear of thinking independently, the outside world, enemies, losing one's salvation, leaving or being shunned by the group, and others' disapproval. I would say yes, because we have some ex Lily fans that are afraid of getting shunned by Lily or being disapproved and felt that they couldn't think independently because whenever they tried to think, it's like, oh, I like this thing, but would Lily be okay with that? Like, yeah, that's definitely instilling fear. Extremes of emotional highs and lows, love bombing and praise one moment, and then declaring you are a horrible sinner. Yes, absolutely. Ritualistic and sometimes public confessions of sins. No, I would say not. Phobia indoctrination. Ooh, that's a new word. Inculcating irrational fears about leaving the group or questioning the leader's authority. No happiness or fulfillment possible outside of the group. Terrible consequences if you leave. That's mostly spiritual. Shunning of those who leave. Fear of being rejected by friends and family. Never a legitimate reason to leave. Those who leave are weak, undisciplined, unspiritual, worldly, brainwashed by family or counselor, seduced by money, sex, or rock and roll. Threats of harm to ex-member and family. I would say yes. Absolutely. Absolutely yes. Yes. Cowboy Bebop is violence porn? Okay. That's a take. Now, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay. So we gotta look at the influence continuum next, which I believe is the original. Hold on a second. All right. Give me a second. I gotta do a CAPTCHA. I rarely speak on her media takes since I don't watch a lot of what she complains about, but her takes on Cowboy Bebop and Madoka Magica had me popping off. I stand by that Lily is just an old contrarian YouTuber that never really grew up with the times. Yeah. What's the max score for this checklist? We're pretty close to the max score. Okay. All right, I think we can bring that back in. Boop. This is the influence continuum to be used with a byte model. So we have constructive and healthy on this side and destructive and unhealthy. So for leaders or for individuals, authentic self versus cult identity, unconditional love versus conditional love. So let's bring out this little byte thing. Um I would say, would you say that like yeah. So I would say that she doesn't like discourage like an authentic self. I would say that much. She doesn't control people's identity. But there's definitely a problem with conditional love, hate, doctrine. I would say probably fall somewhere in the middle for this creativity and humor versus solemnity, fear, and guilt. Free will and critical thinking / dependency on obedience. Definitely more on the dependency and obedience side. So it's definitely leaning more towards destructive. For leaders, psychologically healthy / narcissistic and psychopathic. Absolutely. Elitist, elitist and grandiose, power hungry, secretive, deceptive, and claims absolute authority. Yeah, I would say it's all the way over on this side for the leaders. For organizations, and here's the thing: is that it's not really an organization, but it is relationships. So we're going to go by based on relationships. Um, elitism, absolutely. Authoritarian structure, Probably somewhere in the middle. Deception and manipulation. Yes. Clones people. So that basically means that everybody is expected to be like everybody else. I would say no. Ends justify the means. Yeah, probably. Preserves own power. Yeah. I'd put that in the middle because, yeah. No legitimate reason to leave. Yes. So I would say, based on the influence continuum that is supposed to be used with the bite model, that, like, yes, it's looking like, based on these two things, it's looking based on the Markiplier. What? I don't know where you saw Markiplier. I would say, based on these two things, that there is definitely a cult of personality going on. Based on my uneducated take and just my lived experience, that there is definitely a cult of personality going on. I would say that, like, without question, like, that's what I would think. And I wasn't thinking, that was not my prediction. I didn't think she'd meet so many marks. Oh, reacting to number 87. What traits of a cult of personality doesn't she have? I would say the one thing is that she doesn't expect all of her followers to change their identity. You know, I would say she doesn't do that. Bar is underground, but she doesn't do that. She doesn't. She's. See, there's like cult leaders and then there's cult of personalities. Lily's takes on anime remind me of this bully that I had in high school that found my sketchbook and ripped up my Inuyasha drawing when he found it. That's what it reminded me of. That's what she reminds me of. All right. Okay. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. Not this video. I've already done this video. I think that Sai already covered this. We're gonna cover it too. Content warning text displays of the Q-slur. Okay. So who wants to bet that she will get into things that are a lot more triggering than the Q-slur? Because I noticed she did that for her drama video. So I think I'm about to get jump scared by her girl voice.
Hi, everyone. Please support our videos on Patreon. The link's at the end of the video and in the down there part. Thank you. You're lovely.
Why does she do I fear when Lily discovers Evangelion? No, I would go rabid. I think Evangelion is too much for. Oop, this is actually not the view that I want. I want this one. That's better. Why did she do her? I already suffered to this video. I'm making you do it again. Okay. Why did she do her girl voice and then, like, stop doing her girl voice though? Like, I don't care. I think trans women that don't voice train are fine. Like, I think I like T voice. She would call Kawaru a pedo. Okay, it would be on site. It would be on site. She said something about Eva once. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know because it would be the violence in my heart, I think, would be too much for my little tiny body. Okay. Okay, this is a 20-minute video. I'll try not to... Why am I looking at him, Taro?
So after my video about Spy Family, which can...
Is this... Okay. This is a Kingdom Hearts background, but okay, whatever, I think.
Contain more than a few searing hot takes, I was inundated with the same recommendations that follow suit every single time I mentioned Japanese cartoons within hearing distance of a weeb. My initial response to that was to just talk about the Japanese cartoons I actually
hate this avatar.
Liked, but upon starting the list, I realized the list of shows I liked and the shows I watched a significant amount of aren't really that different in length, if we're being honest. So I decided, what if I just ranked every single one of them from worst to best? Let me give a little background before we get started. I'm a kid of the 90s and early 2000s, which means imported cartoons were like half of what I watched, like every other kid. And the thing is, while I very much dislike anime these days, I only fell off of it when I was about 15. Between the ages of 7 and 15, I went down the same rabbit hole as a lot of people. I got wrapped into the internet and her
Late to Lily's racist train, but I was actually surprised how blatantly anti-Semitic she is. She compares Stephen, who is based off of a Jewish man, to Joseph Milling's son in her Steven Universe movie review. Wow. When she used terrible anime to use as an example, she immediately used Evangelion in her video. Evangelion, one of the most, like, important animes ever made. Evangelion, one of the most critically acclaimed animes ever made. Okay.
Heard all the same stupid bullshit opinions weebs have been repeating for eons. The thing is, weebs were ultimately the reason I climbed out of the rabbit hole and never went back. This is why I only watch dubs, because
Lily, you were a brony. And you're like a fucking EA fangirl. Oh, guy from Evangelion. That is Shinji Ikari. You will not depersonalize my son. It probably forced her to do a degree of self-reflection, and she can't do that. I find that a lot of the characters that Lily really likes are the ones that are flawed individuals and find value in themselves anyway, like Shinji. Oh god. Is this racist? This feels a little racist. Okay, Lily's not American, by the way. She's Canadian. We live in the same city. Fun fact.
I did check out the subtitle versions of shows I liked at the behest of other people and found that the differences were negligible 99% of the time.
I think she puts Card Captors in here, / Card Captor Sakura, which the story's completely changed between versions because it was chopped up. Shinji finds value in himself after intense emotional pain. Okay, you guys are not ready for the Evangelion. It's really up in the pipeline, but I have so much things to talk about with Evangelion. Like, you don't even know. Like, I love it. Like, that and Kingdom Hearts are kind of tied as, like, my favorite thing. The original sub of Metabots. I started watching that. It was interesting. It was pretty good. It was less childish, I think. She was openly into animes like Card Captors when we were talking. Yeah. Must love the Sailor. Okay. Let's
Like,
keep going.
everyone is still pitching a shit fit about Pokemon's Jelly Donuts, but I mean, that was about the only thing they really changed significantly.
That was like a normie meme. That's like a normie anime meme.
Significantly from the original. People still throw a tantrum over One Piece's Spring Hammer, but whether you watched it subtitled or localized, you still get bored about 5 episodes in and go off to do something else. This was the early sign that I started to realize the sub versus dub debate was less about quality and more about fetishizing this idea of Japan that doesn't really exist. I think
Lily. Sorry, I'm at that point of the Lily video. Don't say fetishize Sulali. Can I go back?
The way weebs treat Japanese honorifics is another example of this. They think it's really important to understand the relationships to other characters, but fail to grapple with the concept that every language has these.
Yeah, but we don't use them in the same way as people do in Japan. They have more of them, and it can inform a relationship. Like Evangelion's a great example. Pretty much immediately, as soon as they meet, Shinji and Kaworu call each other by their first names and don't use any honorifics. And it's supposed to show that, hey, they got really close really quickly and they have a really intense bond. One that I would personally say is romantic, especially if you look at um, any of the media outside of the original anime. It's very clear that it's a romantic bond. But like there's so Evangelion is such a good example of how a translation can be different. Like the scene in the bath, in Japan, the what Kaworu says to Shinji, it's a little ambiguous. It can be interpreted as I love you, or it could be interpreted as like I like you. It could be either or. And the English translators decided that the scene would hit better if it was I love you. And I think that's great. I think that that's really brave considering it was dubbed in like 1997. Um, but in the Netflix dub, they changed it to "You are worthy of my grace," which we cringe. We cringe. We cringe a little bit about that. Oh, Anthony, shut up, or I will find you and I will kill you. Listen, there is an Evangelion video in the pipeline in the works. But if you don't know about the stuff outside of the anime and the rebuild movies, holy holy shit. Um the games and some of the comics and like the novels, holy crap. I'm not saying that they're a destined pair. I mean, they are. Like it's confirmed in the rebuild movies that they're destined and for each other, and their names are written together in the Book of Life. But Kaworu is definitely a romantic option of Shinji's in basically every piece of media of Evangelion. Anyway, greatly restricted. Okay, Asuka was massacred. Asuka was massacred. My daughter was massacred. I also don't like Asuka in the rebuilds. It felt kind of fetishy. I think there was too many shots of her private parts. Well, we didn't see her private parts, but it was just some close-ups of her chest and her butt, and like I didn't like that. It was uncomfortable, and she didn't even feel like a 14-year-old girl anymore. Whereas, like you watch the original anime, she's such like a brat, but like in a like, oh, you little stinker. Anyway, this is getting a lot.
English
Anyway,
has this too. This is why you always had to call your teachers Mr. and Mrs. last name as a kid, or why referring to someone with only their last name is decidedly impersonal. Every language has these rules about what to call someone depending on your relationship to them, but weebs act as if Japan's rules are some kind of special meaningful aspect of the culture. It's not.
it is. It absolutely is. Like, oh, a big part of Japanese culture is about politeness, Lily, but you wouldn't know anything about manners, so
It's grammar and manners. Hell, I grew up at a time where fan subs were rampantly terrible, transliterating things and adding
oh, I miss this era of subs. I miss it so, so much. I could go on for hours on this topic. Me too. Me freaking too. My first subbed anime was, I can't remember if it was Digimon or if it was Captor Sakura, but it was one of those two. Saying pronouns don't matter. Stop. Well, welcome, Steampunk Soldier. Keikaku. Keikaku was a meme. It was a meme.
Lengthy explanations at the top of the
He
screen.
went from 0 to racist really quickly there. All according to Keikaku. I do say that as a Tonkatsu fan. The centering understanding of the Japanese language might be the single dumbest thing to come out of the offensive void that is Lily's mouth. Some of the fan subs are better than the officials, especially in this era. It's really downplaying the aspects of culture here, yes.
Which any professional translator would look at and go, what the fuck are you doing? But weebs see this as an improvement because it lets them keep up the lie that the Japanese language is some kind of special deity of words. It's like those articles about Japanese words that have no English translation, whereupon they proceed to either translate it themselves or make it painfully obvious what the actual translation is. But you can't tell weebs that a language was designed to convey thoughts and feelings that are universal. That would break their fantasy that Japan is a...
But like people do this to German all the time, you know? Germany is a really cool language in that it just kind of like has so many words to describe very niche things. And interestingly enough, Japan does this to English as well. Thank you for the subscription, Steampunk Soldier. So there are times when we're like, hey, this word can't be properly translated. We do this to French, to Spanish, to German, to Japanese. We do this with a lot of languages. It's not specific to Japan. The problem is that when we were young, me and Lily, because we are the same age, there was this urge to sort of like smooth over and Americanize a lot of Japanese cartoons, like anime. Um, yeah. My first subbed anime was Crystal, like Sailor Moon Crystal, which I immediately chomped on the bit for 5 years the moment I heard rumors of it in 2010. I mean, I'm an original Sailor Moon girly. I'm not a girly, by the way. Like that's been a point of contention. I'm a boy, but I like to me girly is a gender neutral term. Anyway, um but there was like a big problem with Americanizing a lot of Japanese culture. Are you afraid of walking into Lily one day like in the grocery store? I don't like confrontation, but I don't think Lily wouldn't recognize me if she saw me. Like I don't put my physical appearance out into the real world. So like what like nothing would happen. I just would see her, I might recognize her, and then I'd go about my day. You know. When you were kids, the ideal was that you would not understand that the cartoons you were watching were from Japan. Exactly. Because they didn't think we would understand it.
real world Narnia. The point is, I have very real gripes about anime, and
Makes more sense in Japanese when addressing someone is much more formal. You call someone by their family name unless you're close to them. Just calling her your solidifies their closeness in his eyes. It makes as much sense because the joke is that Yuri is being unreasonable by being upset that your spouse is using her first name. Yeah, but you wouldn't do that in English. It's not a big deal to use somebody's first name in English, even if you just met them. Like we don't have those rules. If I just meet someone, I'm gonna call them by their first name. But if if we were Japanese, I wouldn't be calling Lily Lily. Um, so for example, I'm a Sailor Moon boy. I am. I love the boys in Sailor Moon too, but we're not gonna get into that. We're not gonna be no thirsty crim today. No thirsty crim today. Just leave the house, you'll be fine. Yeah, I actually touch grass quite often. I love touching grass. I touched grass yesterday, actually. Pet names would be a similar comparison for couples. Yeah, I think so too. Of course, Lily had a hard time with high school English, so.
The culture around weebs is one of them. It's why I crawled out of that rabbit hole. My refusal to watch cartoons subtitled isn't born out of anything but quality control, because when weebs in my audience run up with their latest softcore porn cartoon about girls being raped by quote-unquote relatable heroes...
What? What? What anime are you talking about? What anime? What anime are you talking about? Whenever somebody's like, "Hey, Lily," "Hey, Lily, you should watch this," she's like, "No, I don't want to because people are getting this rape is happening." What anime are you talking about? Lily projects her fetishes into everything she watches. Don't ask me how I know that. Britt, I think everybody knows that. Why isn't the R word in the triggers, Lily? Yeah, no kidding. I can forgive rape, but the Q slur? I don't think so. Yeah. I think Lily just watches a lot of hentai. She also like talks about how elf torture is a trope in anime, and it's like, Lily, listen, I'm a spicy man. I'm spicy. I get a little, I'm a hot-blooded demon, I've seen the websites. Lily, that's a porn trope. It's not an anime trope. I know what you're watching. I know what shows you're watching. I know what hentai you've read. Yeah, elf torture is not a trope in anime though. It's a trope in hentai and in horny dojins. It's very popular in those areas. I don't know why specifically elf. I don't know. Look, I hope we're all adults here. If you're not an adult, sorry to like, we're not getting into the details, but they exist out there. I know. Like I'm an adult. I've been on the websites. I've seen the videos that she's talking about. I've seen the dojins she's talking about. That's where she's seen that. It's not in regular anime. Somebody told me that it's kind of a thing in Sword Art Online, but like I'm not a Sword Art Online fart. Yeah, she is telling on herself again. Yes, absolutely. I think she deleted that version of the Dungeon Meshi video though. I think it's because they are depicted as like haughty and noble, so people want to rip them down. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I think Lily just picks a hill to die on and refuses to back down no matter what. She decided all anime is fetish material before she watched any, and now yeah, like, honestly, okay, like, let's take, yeah, absolutely. The only reason that I watch anime is to feed my fetish. Absolutely. That's definitely why I watch anime. She watches too much hentai and it interferes with her critiques. Yeah. We were watching the every anime I've ever watched ranked from worst to best.
It's just a lot easier to say, ooh, sorry, it doesn't have a dub, so hands tied, than it is to just get right in their face and say, ooh, sorry, it doesn't have a dub, so hands tied, than it is.
Lily. First of all, what is going on with this shirt? Why is it like suction cup to her boobs? That's weird. For another, Pokey Madhouse is the most cringy weeb ass shit that I have ever seen in my fucking life. It is just the weebiest, cringiest crap that I have ever had the displeasure of seeing. Pot meat kettle.
To just get right in their face and say,
I don't want your garbage.
For the sake of this list, I'm only including shows that I watched enough of to know my opinion wasn't going to change. So I clearly liked all of them at some point in my life, but I'm not including shows where I watched maybe 3 episodes and then gave up because I was bored. But I'm not.
This is just Lily saying, like, yeah, I can't handle adult themes. This does count as a Steven Universe mention. Steven Universe mentioned. So this is just her saying, like, yeah, I can't handle adult anime. Like, I can only handle shows for little babies.
Not including shows where I watched maybe 3 episodes and then gave up because I was bored. I'm also not going to be including films, so there's going to be no Ghibli movies on here. However, there is one video game because I just think it counts. With that,
Thanks for the subscription, Atomic Pancake. Kingdom Hearts. Ugh. I'm so mad as a Kingdom Hearts fan. Shut up about Kingdom Hearts. Shut up.
out of the way, let's go.
You believe that? Then you really are naive.
I've never been fond of the notion of a sacred cow, especially where LGBTA rep is concerned. There's always been that age-old question of, is bad rep better than no rep? But
This is the worst anime she's ever. Look, Yahtzee ripoff jump scare. Is that supposed to be her arm or her boob? I can't tell. With the fucking with the little crappy peony. What is this? What is this? Ah. Okay. So I'm just gonna let this play through. Hold on a second. This whole section, no, is about Utena. Okay. I know that Sai covered this, so I'll. And I'm not as much of an Utena fan. I've watched it like once, like a long time ago. But like, look how crappy like it's like a crappy PNG. Like whoever made this sprite couldn't be even bothered to redraw it in this art style.
that notion implies that those are our only 2 options. Revolutionary Girl Utena is one of those 90s gay
Utena.
anime that's treasured by a lot of millennial gays because back in the 90s it was watch this or nothing. But that's always been a false memory.
No, it's not. No, it wasn't. There was plenty of gay anime at the time.
In reality, it was watch this or, you know, Sailor Moon is right there and better at this than we are. It's still considered
It was made by the same people, Lily.
by many to be a cult classic and is considered mandatory viewing for sapphic anime fans. And I need to make this clear, there is no such thing as mandatory viewing. You watch what you want and don't feel pressured to swallow something just because everyone else thinks it's perfect and above reproach. Now, I did watch this as a child, and I did like it and think fondly of it up until about 6 years ago. Now, if you follow my work, you've probably seen my critique of the way Sylvanas Windrunner is written and the way Sylvana fandom likes to romanticize a version of a relationship where you torment each other and then love miraculously happens. And you've probably seen my criticism of Catcher Dora, which went the same way.
Don't you get it? I love you. I always have. And you were there. This is what you left me for?
A blonde girl who thinks she's better than everyone, barging into my room all day. Oh, wait. And it won't be over until I see the looks on your friends' faces when they find out that you failed.
I won't let you win. I'd rather see the whole world end than let that happen.
We can turn the rebellion's own hero against them. That's good.
I told you not to come back. But you just love feeling like a hero, don't you?
I wonder which of your friends I'll have annihilate first.
I thought punching was supposed to be like the one thing you're good at. Bye, Dora.
I really am going to miss you.
Kedra, no!
You don't see how soft and gentle he hits me when we're alone.
Do you hear yourself? He shouldn't be hitting you at all.
This is
Can you guys excuse me for a second? I think I need to. Oh God, I think I need to do a block of ketamine after I saw that. God damn. Okay. My tequila is warm now. I'm sad. Um, so I think we need to talk about before we go forward. We need to talk about violence in cartoons and how you can't take it too literally. I think, especially since we're about to like get into Utena. How many how many real world people do you think are literally in the same position as Katra and Adora? How many people do you think are literally like child soldiers that are forced against one another and then later find love? Pretty much none of them. It is Lily takes things way too literally. Steven Universe isn't supposed to be, hey, you should like ally yourself with or the aliens that had tried to destroy your planet. It's not literally about that. It's about family and learning to communicate and learning to be yourself and being like one thing I really like about Steven Universe is the end. It's like, hey, I love myself. I don't need you, but if you want to like put the effort in, if you change your mind, maybe things can change for the better. Catadora is still a toxic ship. Well, you know what? I support women's wrongs. So, checkmate. Um, but you don't I didn't watch She-Ra. I didn't watch She-Ra. But even I know that it's not literally telling it's not literally like a story that's supposed to be just like, "Hey, you know what would be really cool if you were a child soldier and you like were turned against like this cool lesbian that had a crush on you and it was really, it's toxic, but like especially at first, but then it like grows and changes and it's like it like I'm not articulating this well because I feel like I just lost half of my brain cells. If you expose her to an allegory or a metaphor, she turns to dust like a vampire in the sun. She historically has a burning, passionate hate for redemption arcs. And I think that comes because Lily, here's my psychoanalysis on Lily. I've mentioned this before. I don't think Lily likes herself very much. I think she hates herself. I think that's really evident in her writing. But I think that Lily also does not want to put in the work to change and be a better person. I think that's why she hates redemption arcs. I think that's why she hates shows like BoJack Horseman because it's about like, hey, even if you're bad, you should put the effort in to be good. That's still better than just being bad forever. Even if you don't get everything that you want, um, putting in the effort to be good is still a good thing to do. And I don't think Lily wants to do that because that would be admitting to herself that she's a bad person. And going from that, the thing is that if Lily admitted she was wrong and tried to be good, she would probably never get to the following she has now again. Like she has curated this audience that is hypercritical of anything that is even mildly bad. Um, yeah. Am I making sense there? She could have a happy life, a private life with her and Michaela. I truly believe that. Michaela moves up here and they have like a happy little life together, offline, disconnected, and she can get better and she can grow. She'll probably never have the public presence that she did before, but it would be good. It would be a good thing if she did that. If you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Like there are people that want Lily to face punishment. I think that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other conversation. Not what I'm talking about right now. I'm saying that it is possible for someone like Lily to get better, but she doesn't want to do that. I don't think that anyone is ever past that it is ever unredeemable. I know that's a really hot take. But I don't think that means that a person that hurt a lot of people and used their platform to hurt people deserves to still have a platform after what they did. I don't think Lily Orchard should have a platform. Period. Um, Even if she did get better. She doesn't need that. That's not a right that's owed to her. But I still think that she can get better. And I think that she should try to be better. Anyway. So instead, she'll just take things really literally and really seriously. I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Steven. Lily's also quickly approaching the age. Like, look, if somebody is like mid 30s, 40s, I don't think they're going to change. I think if you've gotten that far in life without improving yourself, that you will never improve yourself. I think if you showed signs of making effort before that, then yeah, you might change. But if you get to be like in your mid 30s into your 40s, yeah. I mean, I'm a prison abolitionist, so like I have big opinions about that sort of thing. Um I have like look, I know that my my political stance is very very far on the left. But I also understand that people like Britt and Courtney and like other victims have been hurt and want to see her brought to justice. And I can also respect that. I'm not going to hold it against you that people that have been hurt by her want that. I'm just saying that it is possible to be a better person, to even if it's just a little bit better, you know? It is always possible to improve. I just don't I think she's just getting to the age where she's going to be stuck in her ways, you know? I think once you get to be about our age and a little bit older, if you haven't tried to improve, you're never going to. You're not the kind of person that will ever do any introspection. All right. Let's listen to her garbage takes on you, Tenna.
Where my dislike of all those things started. Like many shows before it and after it, Utena carries this idea about surviving from abuse and trauma as if it scars you in some irreparable way. And like Sylvana fanfiction, it romanticizes this idea. One of the main characters is an intense trauma survivor who is never able to break free of the stranglehold of romanticized trauma and is almost constantly confronted with their abuser at every turn, even taking her anger out on her partner a lot of the time. Furthermore, while that abuse is portrayed negatively, it has the same problem as the Legend of Korra and basically every depiction of Sylvanas being murdered by Arthas, in that it's so gratuitous and grisly that it passes the point.
Okay, Lily. Lily, stay away from grown-up shows. She does mean Anthe here. Stay away from grown-up shows. I also ugh. I liked The Handmaid's Tale. I need to watch the new season. I liked The Handmaid's Tale. The point of the scene, I would not listen. Like, are you okay, I'm gonna say this very gently. If you think The Handmaid's Tale is titillating, you're a fucking creep. And that's what she's trying to say, is that these depictions of abuse and pain are titillating. This isn't a game. This is The Handmaid's Tale. Um, it's a prestige television show based on a novel about um a future in America. Oh god, it's starting to ring true. Like basically if Project 2025 came true. So The Handmaid's Tale is a story about how a lot of the women in America are no longer fertile. And there's a small population that is, and they're basically kept as like breeding stock by families. It's based on this passage in the Bible where like a woman could no longer bear children, so they got the handmaid to bear the child, and it was still considered the couple's child. Um, it is such a good show. It's hard to watch. Oh, it's just because it's low quality. It's just because this particular screenshot is low quality because Lily probably pirated it. Yeah. Essential Twilight from Stockholm. Yeah, no, the Essential Twilight stuff, like I'm okay, so I am also my last video on Lily is going to be a deep dive and analysis into Stockholm. I am not even to the extremely troubling parts with Scootaloo, and it's already oh god, it's so much. It's so much. Uh, Lily isn't fit to shine Margaret Atwood's shoes, yeah. I also like okay. I also get deeply uncomfortable when trans women make big sweeping gestures about reproductive reproductive rights. I am affected by reproductive rights and like cis women are like if I feel like if you aren't affected by this, then you maybe need to take a step back and listen to the people that are. What are you saying sorry for? I'm saying that I'm affected by reproductive rights because I am capable of getting pregnant. I'm not like trauma dumping here. I'm just saying that the world would be a much dangerous place if for me if things like this happened. I'm not trauma dumping here. It's just a fact that anybody that can get pregnant would be deeply affected by this. And I think it's really insensitive and really messed up to like compare this to anime and like use it as an example of titillating torture. Because that's what she's saying right now, that this is titillating. When like okay, hold on. Mm, I'll show you what now content warning. If this is too much for you, um like we're gonna get to some heavy discussions right now about The Handmaid's Tale. So if that makes you uncomfortable, maybe just take a break, go get a drink. I'll try to wrap this up quickly. So this is what the characters look like in The Handmaid's Tale. These are the handmaids. This is what they wear. They wear these robes and dresses. And all the women wear similar clothing. I'm about to show you a screenshot that includes SA. It's not graphic. But if you need to take a minute to look away or go get a drink or just, you know, just take a step back if you need to. Because this is what the sex scenes look like in The Handmaid's Tale. This is what she's wearing. This is what they look like. It is not a titillating scene. It is character focused. It's focused on the expressions and the acting of the character. Yeah, it is supposed to look very colonial. The red nuns, yeah. Well, they're not nuns, they're basically slaves. But this is what the sex scenes look like. It is not titillating. She looks horrified, absolutely. That is kind of the whole point. It is a horrible, awful thing for people to go through. And it is trying to make a point. It is horrifying, yes. If you are titillated by this, you're a monster. Like, oh, yeah. Do not compare this to your fucking stupid video game and to anime. Okay. It's not going to get any rougher than that, I think. I think that was probably the rough point. Titillating means that it's meant to be sexually appealing. Let's not make any assertions, but comparing this to, did she try to blur something in the corner? I don't know. I think this is just like this is like a shitty pirated version of The Handmaid's Tale because she didn't want to, yeah.
Point of being unsettling and starts to make me think that the writers are getting a little too into it. If you're looking
Ugh. No. Stick to your fucking cartoons, Lily. Stick to your cartoons because you do not know what you're talking about.
looking for a source as to why trauma fetishism and abuse fetishism is so common in sapphic circles on the internet, well, look no further than here. It was watched by so many kids that it affected their writing as adults. I was one of those people, and one day I had to sit back and go, hang on, this is terrible. Why am I trying to emulate this? It's a sapphic romance story buried under baggage. And as someone who has been in abusive relationships and suffered a lot of abuse in the past, I can't watch this anymore. It's uncomfortable, and not in a challenging, thought-provoking, higher purpose way. It just feels like gratuity for the sake of gratuity. And after seeing the way a lot of people who liked this show went on to view women beating the shit out of each other as a precursor to romance, I can't help but doubt the sincerity. If anything, this show is the reason why I overwhelmingly prefer to write stories about trauma survivors recovering and putting these things past them, usually making the trauma a backstory they tell to someone and keeping a generally uplifting and optimistic tone. These days, Utena has a Rocky Horror effect, as even though we've moved on and have good, worthwhile gay repping cartoons, zealots still need to push it in people's faces.
Are you coming for Rocky Horror Picture Show? Are you coming for Rocky Horror Picture Show, Lily? Because I'm gonna kill you. I'm something of a writer myself. Somebody send me the Lily Bingo. Send me Lily Bingo. Send me the Lily Bingo page on Discord, somebody. I'll try to find myself. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a moment. Give me a little second. I'll try to find it. My little avatar gives off gremlin energy. Thank you. The Orchard bingo card. I found it. That's great. Can I? It was the first result, guys. I found it. Okay. All right, hold on. Play online. Oh, come on. Open image. Tab. Okay. Perfect. I might have to open this in Paint. I think I'm gonna have to open this in Paint. All right. Do I still have my Paint? Now I'm gonna have to make a new one. Window capture. Add. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add a new one. I thought for sure I had Paint open. Add. MS Paint. There we go. Perfect. Nope. All right, let's well, let's move this over here. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Okay. We'll keep this up here. All right. Okay. Rocky Horror is an important part of the. Oh, I'm just gonna go on a limb and guess that Lily's never seen a live performance of Rocky Horror. It was outdated and transphobic, if I recall correctly. Okay. Chainsaw Man would confuse and terrify Lily. I love Chainsaw Man. Oh. Look into my eyes. What do you see? A cult of personality. Yeah. Not to start another world war, but I don't really understand the hype with Rocky Horror. Maybe it was maybe if I was a gay man, I'd kind of get it, but as a lesbian, it doesn't really do much for me. You don't have to like it, but like denying it, like just writing it off like that is so shitty. Part of me wants Lily to read the Locked Home books, if only because they'd make her head explode on every possible axis. Like doesn't actually analyze media. She just fights with the Twitter straw man in her head. True. All right. YouTube video. There we go. All right. What do we got so far? That's the wrong window. Boop. Let's make this a different color. Dude. Oh God. Hold on. Colors. There we are. I'll just go with green. Okay. All right. Leaving out. Well, mentions Kingdom Hearts. Yes, she has mentioned Kingdom Hearts. She has promoted her own comics. Doesn't understand an adult show. Oh, hold on. As an abuse victim, yeah. Mentions Rebecca and Steven. We're just gonna check off the things she's calling a character racist and abuser. Yes. Trauma dumping, yes. Takes things. This is bad representation, yes. Okay. All right. Honestly, I think you or Sai should do the writing tips thread sometimes. Ooh, that's a lot. Lily would hate the locked tome. Playing the same clip. Did she play the same clip? Bad media analysis. We're gonna get to that. All right.
Because they can't accept that it's aged like milk. It also has an avatar effect where you can see where it's fucked with people's senses, and I can't help but resent it for that.
What
As
do
I
you
mentioned
mean?
above, there's a tendency to view old gay content as some kind of sacred relic that we must be eternally grateful for. It's part of the way modern culture idolizes heroes and tries to find the one show that broke down the door and paved the way for more gay animation. But the truth is, there was no hero. Everyone takes it in turns to take a smack at the door, and everyone's working together to lay down the bricks. No one person is so special that they're irreplaceable.
You insignificant speck.
Oh boy, the special that they're irreplaceable.
You.
Okay, first off, losing points for the dub version. There is already a great video on the writing tips. Yes, it was the one made by Anthony Gramulli. No, it wasn't Anthony that made that one. It was the two guys, the two writers picking that apart. And neither me nor Sai are writers. We kind of dabble, but yeah. Uh-oh, Sai. See, I didn't watch your section because I had to go before I saw that part of your stream. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get real mad because like Cardcaptor Sakura is my favorite anime. Well, other than Evangelion, but it was like my first like anime that I watched, conscious that it was an anime and as the subbed version.
Freaking speck.
Oh boy, the other sapphic anime people loved. I'm gonna get some letters about.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sai. I'm sorry, Sai. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult your writing abilities. Yeah. I meant like professional, gone to school for writing. The Fox Kids dub is superior. Also, Cardcaptor Sakura is not a sapphic anime. There's more examples of like gay men in Cardcaptor Sakura and like bisexual men. Like really the only sapphic characters that we get are Tomoe, and Sakura has a crush on Yukito. Yeah, so does Shaoran. That they started off as romantic rivals for Yukito. But like the dub chopped that up to make it seem like, I don't know, like the dub treated that very clumsily to make it seem like Shaoran was afraid of Yukito. So, and it was weird.
This. I loved Cardcaptors as a kid. I loved it so much, but I mostly watched the Nelvana dub, and as I got older, I learned about all the things Nelvana changed, and I feel like I dodged a bullet. Like weebs will rush up.
You dodged a bullet with the things that they changed? Homophobia caught in 4K.
Out to me and go, they cut out Lee crushing on a guy twice his age, and I'm like, ugh, that was a thing.
But it's a Sakura liked the same guy. And also, Yukito turned Shaoran and Sakura down really gently. Very appropriately. Wait till I hear what she says about Tomoyo. Oh no. I think that Yukito is probably one of the best examples of how to turn down somebody much younger than you without hurting them, but still like treating them appropriately. where he's like, hey, you don't like me like that because of, because like I'm not your special person. You like me because I remind you of your dad, you know? And he said something similar to Shaoran, where he's like, you don't like me because of me or because we have a connection. We can't have a connection. Like, I'm older than you. You like me because of the magical association with the moon that I have. Um, I think that it was one of the most healthy ways I've ever seen somebody that is like significantly older turn down someone significantly younger. Also, Gravity Falls. In Gravity Falls, the age difference between Dipper and what's her name, Wendy, is only 2 years. By the way, I don't know why there's such a size difference between them, but yeah, Wendy's only 2 years older than Dipper. So it's not that weird that they were buddy buddy and Dipper had a crush on her because it's not that much of an age difference. Um, Very appropriate that Wendy did not pursue that at the time, but um, anyway, Lily time. I'll get the glue. Oh, yeah. This is Josh. Oh God, cringe.
thing, and then they'll go, they cut out Madison's crush on Sakura, and I go, wait, doesn't she dress Sakura up in cat ears and film her? Yeah! Ugh. And then they're
Uh, she's 11. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not. Wendy is 14, I think. Well, let me check. I'm pretty sure she's only 14. Really? Okay, maybe it's more creepy than I thought. But she did still turn him down. Wendy, age, Gravity Falls. I thought she was 14. She's 15. Um, Wendy Corduroy is 15. My bingo card's blocking it. So yeah, maybe it is a bit weird, but like she never goes for it. And I still think that it's really normal for a 12-year-old and a 15-year-old to hang out. Yeah, 12 and 15. So like, yeah, that is an age difference, but like I wouldn't say it's weird that they're friends. And she did turn him down appropriately, I think. 3 years gap. Maybe when they're older, it won't be a big deal when they're older. But like definitely 12 and 15 is still like a bit of a gap for a relationship. And I think it was good that Wendy turned him down. Or yeah. Yeah, about 2.5 years difference. Again, like it's a cartoon. I'm not super worried about it. Wendy outright tells him she's too old for him. Yeah, that's the appropriate response, I think, from that age difference. Yeah, romantic is kind of weird. Man, Lily uses jobs to make fun of examples or just to slander him and drags his name through into everything during her tirade against him. Is this in my hold on, is this in my victim blaming? Not doing any internship, advocacy. I'm just gonna circle bad media analysis right now. The RPG game Lily made, I don't believe her. I don't think she's ever made a game.
like, they cut out the engagement between Rika and Mr. Tarada, and I'm like, wait, they were what? Boys crushing on grown men, the predatory lesbian trope. Mr. Tarada, and I'm like, wait, they were what?
Yeah, that was weird. That was fucking weird. Um, that was weird. Absolutely the Tarada thing. Rika and Tarada was weird. Um, so She did. She sent an old version of it to me. Oh, Brit, you could do something super. If you still have it, you could do something really epic for Shaoran to have a crush on Yukito. It's really normal. It's really normal for somebody Shaoran's and it is really normal for someone like Shaoran or Sakura to have a crush on a teenage boy. Also, Yukito is not a grown man. He's like 15, 16. He's in high school. No, you don't have it? Still portion of it in a Google Doc somewhere. Someone put together. Oh god. Yeah. So this is normal. It's normal for like younger kids to have crushes on people that are older.
Crushing on
And in the new series, they erase the student who got the teacher in the new series. That's probably for the best. That's a good in the clear card stuff. Yes, I think they did get rid of that. That's a good idea.
grown men, the predatory
Tomoyo. Tomoyo is not predatory. She just wants Sakura to be cool and she thinks she's pretty and Yukito is 15 to 16 when Sakura and Shaoran have a crush on him. Yeah, that's not weird. He's not a grown man. He's a teenager. She has long since gotten past her crush by the time. So does Shaoran. Shaoran and Sakura both get over their crush on Yukito. Predatory lesbian. This is so. The homophobia is coming from inside the house.
lesbian trope.
Imagine looking at a lesbian. This sinister looking. Oh my god.
And actual pedophilia. Oh boy.
Yeah, again, this is a problem. But it's also treated more as like it is creepy. I don't want to try to justify it. It's gross. But yeah, ugh, I don't like it. Listen, I like Griffith. I love toxic men. Okay, I haven't watched all of Berserk, but like I love evil, terrible men that are pretty, okay? I'm an awful person.
Boy, I
careful with the friendly fire. No. Calling femboys predatory, gay, and androgynous predatory. She what? Okay.
sure missed out on all the cringing I could have been doing. See, like Fox News, Clamp operates under the impression that pedophiles and gay people are the same thing.
I can't. I can't. Okay, it's funny that she like moments ago. I also love heroic and awesome men that are pretty, but I don't know. I like me a Sephiroth. I like me a Xehanort. You know, a hot man isn't evil. He's not trying hard enough. Ugh. I contain multitudes. Look, she also praised Sailor Moon, and there's like a lot of like age gap in there too. Um, and I think it comes from the perspective of girls that get crushes on older men, and it's part of like that fantasy. I don't think it's trying to excuse pedophiles. I just think it's like a lot of young girls get crushes on older men. Can I use imagine a lesbian this sinister looking in my video cut? Absolutely. Please do that. No, I got this bingo card from somewhere else. Doesn't understand a children's show. Yeah, we're gonna do a little bam.
They're just more ooh-woo positive about it. Their stories carry the theme that love is love is love is love, and they carry this everywhere. This graphic is their entire author tract, and
Oh god. Pull the trigger. I can feel you putting your head on this hands during the scream. Yeah. Uh, quoting Deadbeat Girl. I think I'm gonna microdose euthanasia after this. Somebody kill me! Her life would be saved if she just hired an editor to filter all of her scripts through. This video has like 10 astonishing inappropriate faux pas so far. Okay.
the thing is, it's a bad thing to equate gay people with pedophiles, especially if you're being positive about it. But that's what Cardcaptors does. It's no surprise that when it came over to North America, Nelvana stripped out all the romance. The only thing that survived was Lee's crush on Sakura, but that never actually went anywhere and never had a payoff. Even his confession was cut out.
Okay, hold on a second. It does have a payoff. There's so many moments of payoff with... Okay, so Shaoran did not start having a crush on Sakura until, like, after all of the cards were captured. It wasn't until part 2. For starters. For starters. They were at first romantic rivals and rivals for the cards, and they became friends. And then after Sakura has all the cards, Sharon starts having a crush on her. And it is not saying, God. Again, they didn't cut out Sakura's crush on Yukito. That's where the homophobia comes in. They also cut out Yukito and Toya's, like the Sakura's older brother. They have a romantic relationship in the original version of the anime. Nelvana edited out most of the romance because they were trying to sell the show towards young boys. Yes, they tried to change the genre of the show when it was like exclusively a show for girls. Not Sauron, Shaoran. Shaoran Lee. It's a Chinese name. Shaoran is a it's like a Japanese version of the Chinese name Xiaoling. It would probably be more closer to the original Chinese. They're also children, yeah. Cardcaptor has Toya and Yukito get together by the end, and that's the only actual gay representation I can think of. Yeah. Shauron. It's spelled like I will. No, and I want to sign into chat. It's spelled like Syaoran. Shauron. But it's more like it's more like the English. If we Shauron is translated from like Chinese to Japanese to English. If you translated directly from Chinese, it would probably pronounce more like Zhao. But anyway.
The whole show was turned into an action cartoon in the vein of Mummies Alive or X-Men, and it was about the most watchable version of it. Like Utena, this is often held up for having gay love portrayed positively, but also like Utena, it comes with so many asterisks that it's just not worth it. Especially now when we have much better alternatives. Theme song fucking slapped though.
Card captors, a mystic adventure. Card captors, a quest for all time. Each card possesses a power all its own. We've got to find them to bring the power home.
It's as rich a source of negative emotion as we'll ever find.
Okay, first of all, this is not the original Digimon anime. This is the reboot that was released a couple years ago. So you're not even getting the right.
Okay, so I watched like 2.5 seasons of Digimon, and my feelings on it are very mixed. Objectively, it's terrible. Terribly written, terribly acted, terribly animated, just all around terrible.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. Oh, no, deadbeat girl. With the Digimon avatar and everything. I threw up twice. Hold on a second. Let's just need to cleanse my palate a little bit. Look at that free American intro too, but you can just tell from this that it was going for a very different feel. It's also like one of the few magical girl animes I would say where like Sakura is not drawn to be titillating. Oh, you also played it. I'm not trying to copy you, so I didn't see this video. I also just love how stylish this anime is. Like the character design, the outfits, like it's just, it looks so good. Look at how beautiful like this background is. And like the whole show looks like this. It's so beautiful. It's just such a good looking anime, and it's just such a good anime. Like, please watch Cardcaptor Sakura. It's really, really good. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. It's got a really good story. The fantasy elements are really cool. It's got that sort of like celestial gothic look to all of the all of the cards. And celestial gothic, if you don't know, hold on, let me sec. Give me a second. No, this isn't. Oh, it's not actually showing me stuff in that style. Well, yeah, I'm not actually finding a lot of stuff that's actually in the celestial gothic style. It's just goth stuff with like moon themes, and that's not really what celestial gothic is. Um, get out of here. It's sort of this, but if you ever see like those like sort of the dark blue with like the golden suns with the face. Um, anyway, I would also say that Cardcaptor Sakura still holds up today. It's so good. It's so good. And Kiro Barros is awesome. And it's just got such a good like it's got like that healthy sort of balance between like slice of life, action, and then like world building. It's so fun and it's so good. Anyway, on to Digimon. On to her Digimon take. Which I'm also not I also really like Digimon. I do like the English opening, but the Japanese one is a vibe. Yeah, agree. Cardcaptor Sakura and Tokyo Mew Mew were the first anime I actually watched beginning to end. I haven't watched Tokyo Mew Mew beginning to end.
Terrible, and I fucking love it for that. You should totally go and watch it. I'm serious.
I hate how often she's like, this thing is terrible, but I love it. Like, can't you just like unironically like something without being like, I hate this, it's so stupid and dumb, but I love it. Like, just stop. You can like, it's like she's afraid to like something in case she gets criticized in the way that she criticizes everybody else.
If you haven't, you have to see it. There's a great deal of earnest sincerity about it, and I can't help but find it charming, especially when Kingdom Hearts actors show up to chew on the scenery. The dialogue may be stilted and completely wooden, but it harkens back to a time when this stuff wasn't caked in irony, and
Again, the dialogue is a lot better in like the Japanese voice actors are just they're more talented. They're like they perform better. It's just better. It's just like what better performed. And like they don't cut out as much of the dark stuff.
just own the fact that they were unbelievably stupid. I guess I feel more fondly about it because I actually miss the days where adventure fantasy cartoons were this earnest and sincere. Yeah, the dialogue is badly written and the animation is even worse, but you know what? Metal Greymon gets to have his titty cannons and no one feels the need to sarcastically roll their eyes at it. Sure, Anjuwamon's design is cravenly perf-pandering.
Angelomon is fine. Come on, get out of here.
But I can't recall any moment where she was sexually assaulted by the camera either. Maybe that was just too expensive. I think it's worth a rewatch for anyone, honestly. If only for the titty cannons.
My heart is made of...
Why is she sexually exploiting Metal Greymon?
just one thing.
You know, I did quite like this show at first. It was an interesting take on the whole magic school thing. This eager young woman gets thrown right into the middle of a global aristocracy and finds that she's
She's a girl, but continue.
completely inept at magic. It's a good baseline for a character-focused show, and most of the episodes are indeed extremely funny. I still maintain that Sleeping Susie is the best episode of any cartoon I've ever seen. I love it so much, and highlights how funny the writers can be if they want.
Not the Silent Hill. Is that a Silent Hill reference? I haven't watched all of my Witch Academia.
To be. But Trigger just had to do a trigger and pretend that they can make action work while being floatier than Dream Drop Distance, and the last half of the show is just absolute piss swill. It's like eating a lovely piece of cheesecake and then biting into a dead wasp that was hidden in the middle of it. I'm not
Don't you put your action in my Magical Girl show?
being hyperbolic. I think the latter half of this show is absolute fucking garbage. Everything after Samhain magic isn't worth anyone's time unless you're the kind of weirdo who thinks boring half-villains are the height of fiction. And
Hey Lily,
if
can
you
you
are, I mean, I
take weirdo out of your lexicon? Like, stop implying that someone is a pervert for having a different opinion than you.
I hold no hard feelings against you. Demographically speaking, you're 13.
What a strange place to slither off to.
On reflection, I think dead middle was the best place to put Pokemon. It's been going on for over 20 years and has about as many episodes as One Piece. But unlike One Piece, it's actually watchable and soft resets every few seasons so you can jump in whenever you want. I feel like that was always Pokemon's strong suit. Like, the writers never considered that there would be an army of weebs still watching it today, and even though they now know old fans are still around, they don't write the show specifically for them. I stopped watching Pokemon around Battle Frontier when the voices changed and was never really able to accept the new voices. They try to sound like the old ones, but the end result is just this uncanny valley effect. The show also lost a lot of its bite as time went on, originally having a very 90s comedy charm to it, and feeling more sterile as time went on, especially with the way Ash was characterized. That's not a criticism, but it did eventually evolve into something that just wasn't for me, and I was more than happy to leave it behind. I'm told that the Sun and Moon arcs are very good, and I'm glad about that, but at the same time, I've never felt compelled to go in.
What? Brock and Misty come back? I might have to watch that. I like Brock and Misty. This fucking picture though, like what is happening?
And actually watch it.
You better settle down there, master.
Okay, so Princess Knight is a TV series from the 1960s about a gender-fluid prince who was born with the heart of a boy and a girl. She was raised as a boy to prevent a duke from inheriting the throne and comes to lead the kingdom himself. Princess Knight is an odd one. I think quite highly of it, as it's a very gender-curious show. But at the same time, it's still very 1960s fantasy, and that gender curiosity is done inside a gender essentialist framework. For example, Sapphire is established to be more comfortable dressing like a boy because she has a boy's heart given to him by an angel, and not because gender is a social construct. But the thing is, the message is still there. Like, it reminds me of a time when a trans woman would be described as a woman trapped in a man's body, which is itself outdated, but as an explanation to how you were feeling to the layman, it worked. It's messy, to say the least, but it...
Alright, so I actually know a bit about this. Not in terms of the show, but in terms of how, like, gender is thought of in Japan and how trans people are thought of in Japan. So, so in Japan, I would say that Princess Knight, I'm trying to remember what the word is. Give me a second. I must do a Google. I must do a Google. Yes, onabe. Onabe is the term. So, onabe are essentially people that were born women that feel as if they are masculine in some way. This can be a butch lesbian. This can be somebody that's non-binary. This can be a transgender man. But onabe is the word used. And I would say that Princess Knight definitely comes across as an onabe. Like it's a person who feels more comfortable presenting themselves to the world as a boy despite being a girl. And often onabe will describe themselves as somebody with the heart of a boy. That's so Princess Knight very much, basically, from what I'm hearing, from what Lily is saying, and from what I know of the anime that I have not watched, I think it's gonna go on my list because I'm making a video about like trans mass caricatures in media. So I think I will include Princess Knight in the list of things that I'm going to take a look at. I would say that they definitely fit. I don't know what Princess Knight's identity is, but I would say this character definitely fits the definition of onabe. And that is the word that they use to self-identify. Gender fluid in 1960s Japan, Boyosama Tezuka. Yeah, like this was written from the perspective of a man, and people had certain opinions on onabe back then. From what I understand and from what my current research is, a lot of onabe tend to take on very masculine roles, but they tend to not they tend to occupy a lower class in society. They're often sex workers. They'll work at host clubs, and you might have heard of like host clubs where girls dress up as boys. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of the people that work at these clubs, thanks for the subscription. Didn't see who that was from because my bingo card was covering it. But yeah, I've watched a documentary and I've done some research on it. So yeah, absolutely think that like Princess Knight probably counts as an onabe. A lot, like I said, a lot of them work at like host clubs, and you've probably heard of them, where girls go on dates with women dressed as men. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of them live as men outside of those host clubs as well. Like they might be on hormones, or they might just live as male but are not on hormones, or they might just be like very gender ambiguous outside of that. So yeah, it's really interesting to know if Lily's seen Velma. She and Velma are similar personality wise. Yeah, well,
It's still extremely charming. Like any piece of LGBT animation made before 16, it's got a lot of baggage behind it, but I do think it's at least worth a watch, more so than the other two at least. I find it especially worth a look given that there's a growing mythology in LGBT cartoon fandom that certain creators pioneered LGBT rep in animation and were inspired by very specific shows from their youth, but the truth is that the fight for good rep goes back over 60 years and has been a collective effort by everyone, which is easy to forget in the era of Stan Twitter acting like specific creators are gods simply by virtue of their mere existence.
3 Guardians.
Oh, not Metabots. Oh no. Okay, so so yeah, I don't think Rebecca Sugar did we playing the same clip, doesn't know how TV meltdown. I'd say doesn't know how TV production works. Kind of fits that. Leaving out information because I don't think Rebecca Sugar ever claimed that she was pioneering gay rep, gay and like she did on the channels we were on, the channels that she makes cartoons on and in the West. But anyway.
Is more than I care to face.
The 90s had a lot of tournament cartoons, from Pokemon to that one with the cards, to that other one with the cards, to Beyblade, to that one with the marbles, but I think
Duel Masters was supposed to introduce Magic the Gathering to Japan. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Was really successful, and it was kind of inspired by Magic the Gathering, but then Duel Masters was made. Duel Masters is literally just Magic the Gathering.
I think the best of them was the one whose premise was, what if we give small children death robots with machine guns and rocket launchers and act like that's a completely reasonable thing to do? So Metabots was a thing.
That's literally that is literally the fucking premise of like every mecha anime ever. But of course, Lily won't watch those because they're weeby.
In all fairness, Metabots isn't anything special. The whole show is just your average tournament cartoon, and it wears its status as a Pokemon knockoff on its sleeve, but it is definitely charming. The main character, Metabee, is nothing short of the single most hilarious character to ever grace the screen. I honestly think Metabee is what makes the entire show, and if you don't like him, I think you just hate fun, honestly. The show lost its edge when they introduced this stupid Dragon Ball Z Hadouken thing that became such an easy win card that they had to invent an entire new type of robot just to be invincible to it, but everything before that was great. I'd happily watch this again anytime, and I wish the tie-in games didn't suck so much raw, unfiltered ass.
Gee, thanks for looking out for us, mister. But I'm sure we can take care of our—
Why are all of these shows like shows for babies?
ourselves just fine.
Weebs have always had a poor relationship with the concept of translating. If a dub so much as changes the word exciting to cool, they'll pitch a shit fit. They act as if the best kind of translation is one that changes literally nothing. To them, I will always point to the Samurai Pizza Cats and say, kindly go fuck yourself, you culturally fetishizing dickhead. Okay, so a little background. Samurai Pizza Cats,
Like, liking I need more tequila. Da na 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 na. Da na 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 na. Valuing the original version of a piece of media is not cultural fetishization. This is what I'm talking about with thought stopping techniques. Where it's like, hey, don't think critically about this. It's a fetish. It's a fetish. Don't think about it. It's bad. Do you have bingo yet? Not yet. Surprisingly. I would say that she's been blaming. She's been like bringing up Rebecca Sugar and like female creators a lot. Whoop. Do you like your adaptation to be faithful? You must be a huge creep then. Yeah. Nobody cares about Samurai Pizza's cats.
Started out as a very typical superhero cartoon over in Japan, but after the explosion of Power Rangers, it was sent over to be translated. But because it wasn't very popular, all the materials a translator would need were destroyed, damaged, or just not included. And so, when faced with this problem, they did what any reasonable person would do. They watched the untranslated episodes, inferred what was going on, and then made the rest of it up. The end result was this obscene
Literally vouching for the erasure of a culture's medium. She is so xenophobic.
wacky show that was so fundamentally different from its original, it counts as its own abridged series. It is positively delightful, a relic of the 90s anime boom where everything was being packaged and sent over to the West before companies started pandering to hopeless, pathetic shut-ins. Do I think you'd like it? That depends. Do you like
I don't say this lightly, but Lily, you're a fucking cunt. Stop calling people that value an original story and like want to watch. You're a fucking bitch, Lily. Acting like a bunch of people that value a story and value art are like shut-ins and weebs and like talking to them like they're garbage. You're a bitch. And I think that's the harshest thing I've ever said. The harshest I've ever spoken about Lily. This is just such a. Ugh. Yeah. Anti-intellectualism, like miserable. Absolutely miserable.
fun? Yes? Are you still pitching a shit fit over jelly donuts like a loser? No? Yeah, I think
It's not about the jelly donuts. I'm counting that as, look, I've got bingo. She keeps on bringing up the same point over and over again with the fucking jelly donuts. I got bingo. Denying she's wrong? Yes. Not doing any research? Yes. She didn't do any research on gender differences in Japan. Look, another bingo. Bingo again. Oh. She's shadowboxing arguments that don't exist.
you will.
That's not fair, Beast. Don't take it out on Belle.
I was back and forth on where exactly to put this because I mean, yeah, it's good, but does it really deserve to be above Samurai Pizza Cats? But then the last episode made me cackle like a banshee watching a tree burn down, so I was like, yeah, alright, you could be number 3. I did an entire first impressions on this show, and everything I said there stands. This show is positively delightful, and it's clear from watching it why it exploded in popularity the way it is. So instead of repeating myself, I'm going to share this amusing little anecdote. Apparently, the creator doesn't feel any affection toward this show or the comic at all, because he only wrote it to have something that would sell, because all of his more serious comics kept getting canceled. And I think that is the best example so far of someone getting hit in the face with the cold, icy reality that the reason it's so hard to get serious, dramatic comics and cartoons greenlit is very simple.
So here's some context that she's missing, is that yeah, step away from the lolly. So, and we need to step back a little bit. Do you know why Spy X Family was greenlit? This is commonly known if you do just a little bit of digging, because they were using it on as propaganda to get Japanese couples to have kids. That's why it was grabbed so quickly.
Nobody fucking wants that shit. It is a reality that hardcore cartoon fandom has had a hard time accepting for quite some time.
Anyone from the organization who'd like to be next?
Lily, that's a video game. Yeah, but it still has a linear plot, and the world structure makes it feel episodic like a TV series, and frankly, I think I should be able to include it. Honestly, the sheer deluge of adventure fantasy cartoons from both the West and the East could probably learn something from it. Kingdom Hearts' story is fucking stupid. It's completely absurd at times, but I don't say that as a criticism, because one thing Kingdom Hearts has always done well is own it. I don't like it when stories are quote-unquote wacky, because they almost always devolve into ironic self-parody, which is just being stupid while sarcastically rolling your eyes, which some people seem to think is the height of comedy, but always struck me as very insincere. Like, the writer realized he was letting himself get too...
Okay, but like, she's not saying anything about Kingdom Hearts. But why do you think that Kingdom Hearts' plot is stupid? It's convoluted. I wouldn't call it stupid, though. I think it's pretty intelligent, but anyway.
Too vulnerable and needed to nervously laugh it off. You know, kind of like when you ask your lover to choke you and they look at you like you've grown a second head, and so you backpedal
Stop being so sexual!
By saying you were only kidding, and they should totally see the look on their face right now. But deep down, you both know, that energy's never leaving the room no matter how much you laugh it off. Lily, this is getting weird. Yeah, I know, I'm only kidding. You should totally see your face right now. The thing is that Tetsuya Nomura has never known an ounce of cringe in his life, and puts his whole pussy into everything. He's the man who will write a tear-jerking scene with Mickey Mouse and the Muppet Babies version of Sephiroth, and will not only be totally into it, but knows that you will be into it too. Have you ever cried over Goofy? You're fucking gonna. There's a great deal of vulnerability on display, and almost everything that goes into the story is something Nomura was extremely enthusiastic about. Hell, he chose to do Kingdom Hearts 4 over Verum Rex entirely because he was worried about Sora, who he snapped in the last game. Just... Aw. And it's not just the sincerity. I truly believe that Kingdom Hearts has an extremely gripping story. It wouldn't have succeeded with its console ADD otherwise. And I think a lot of people are seriously sleeping on it and just letting the rather undeserved meme of it being incomprehensible warp their perceptions.
Aw, come on, Riku.
No! I mean, I kind of agree with her on the fact that I think that there's like a skewed perception of Kingdom Hearts. But like, you could talk about the story a little bit. Like, why are we talking about... Why are we... Kingdom Hearts mentioned? Kingdom Hearts has been mentioned. Like, this has been lines from Kingdom Hearts since the little... Meh. I think you gotta take Kingdom Hearts where it is, and you're like praising Kingdom Hearts for being unapologetic, and I like that too, but then you're calling it stupid and dumb. Like, God.
You've been hanging out in darkness too long. You gotta try and think positive.
Of course I was going to put Hamtaro at number 1. It's still the best cartoon to come out of the East. No, I don't care what edgy drama-mongering bull honky you have to offer. There are hamsters in this one. Does your favorite show have hamsters in it? No. Sit down. Hamtaro is lovely. The hamsters have formed their own underground society, and they speak in a hamster slang. And every episode is just about them being friends and having dumb little hamster misunderstandings. It's like if somebody took Craig of the Creek and made it even cuter. Also,
She did say that half of the Kingdom Hearts games aren't worth playing. Why are there this many baby shows? That's a good question. The East, yeah. Lily likes a baby show about hamsters. This is why shocked face. You know what? I really want Lily to talk about Bluey. I want her to talk about Bluey.
the theme song
Yuri on Ice has hamsters. Checkmate, Lily.
is fridging adorable.
Laura's gone to school, let's go to our ham clubhouse. We can fix their troubles, just be quiet as a mouse. Watch out for those cats, you know they're smarter than you think. But if we work together, we can make their plan sink. Woo!
Ham hoppers, let's start the show. Join the team, come on, let's go. Little hamsters, big adventures, Hamtaro. He eases cage when Laura's away. The ham friends all wanna play, but someone needs our help today. Hamtaro.
And they had 2 entire games that captured the vibe of the show perfectly. It's just the coziest damn show in the entire fudging universe. It's so cozy and so pure and just so delightful that I can't even summon the energy to swear around these adorable little gremlins. Look at their little faces! Hamtaro just perfectly captures the energy of Sora years before Sora was even a glint in Nomura's eye. This show is
Lily, the whole point of Sora at the moment, his character growth, is that his over positivity is bad and toxic. Sora's positivity is hurting him. It's like, does she think that, like, I'm looking so forward to that toaster bath I'm taking later.
everything you imagine was going on when your pets were playing outside, and I think that's a wonderful thing. Hamtaro is the premier cartoon, and any show falling short of that just means they didn't quite reach perfection. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you all had a wonderful time, and if you're upset that I didn't include Busboy Sock Hop, or whatever it was you were about to get angry about, then that's okay. You can go, and I'll just be right over here, being better than you.
Really sees an upbeat character. Getting a lot of Sora Kingdom Hearts vibes here. Sora's positive attitude is causing him to bottle up his emotions and not face them healthily, hence why darkness is able to creep its way on Sora. Yeah. Like, since the first game, I think it was, he's had a dark form because of that. The dark/anti form. She likes Sora because he forces himself to smile and she's disgusted by negative emotions in other people. Yeah. Anyway, that was supposed to be a palate cleanser, but it pissed me off even more. Was it Kingdom Hearts 2 that the rage form? The anti-form was when he died. Yes, it is. It does happen when he gets knocked out, but it comes from his own inner darkness. Like, Riku doesn't get an anti-form. For example. Reminds me of her bitching about Luz having a heroic BSOD moment during the 3rd season of The Owl House. I am 100% on Nomura's Wild Ride, and I think that Lily greatly misinterprets the themes of Kingdom Hearts. The themes of Kingdom Hearts can be broken down to like what makes a person, why does that person matter, and then comparing people to the world, and kind of going to what makes reality real and what makes reality matter. And the Riku's anti-form is Ansem, sort of, sort of, and then like the answer to that is love and memories and friendship, loving each other and making memories with each other and caring about each other is what makes people matter, and it's what makes reality matter. And Kingdom Hearts is about Blue Screen of Death is BSOD. And Kingdom Hearts is about the growth, like those are its themes, but Kingdom Hearts is about the growth and change of the relationship between Sora and Riku. Where it starts as like they had a pretty normal friendship when they were young, and then Kairi got introduced to things and started complicating things. It's okay, yeah. To quote Joshua, it's when someone looks at someone and sees someone. That's when we truly start to exist. Yes, Joshua Kiryu, rare W for Joshua Kiryu. A heroic BSOD is basically when a hero is so traumatized that they basically shut down. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. I guess Nomura does need to do non-Kingdom Hearts stuff, but like Kingdom Hearts is his baby. Let's talk about why your story-driven show is going to suck. Is the video where she talks about Bluey and says it's better written than Madoka Magica. I did watch that. Kairi, not so much. Kairi does not serve the same purpose in the story as Riku and Sora do. The story is about Riku and Sora objectively. Kairi isn't even in most of the games. Kairi is more a force of change that acts, um, rather than it being about Kairi. And you can like, you can criticize that if you want, but that's objectively what the story is. So like if you don't like it that Kairi doesn't fulfill the same role as the other two in the trio, that's fine. You don't have to like it, but it is true. And you kind of just have to accept that and then criticize or analyze the game past that. Kylie gets shafted a lot. Kairi was never ever meant to take. She wasn't shafted. She was never meant to take the same role as Riku and Sora does. And it's been talked about in interviews. It's very clear in like the first, even in the first game, she wasn't shafted. She was never supposed to have the same role as the rest of the characters, unfortunately. And I think that you can be frustrated like by that and you cannot like it, but it is the truth. Anyway. There are some better female characters like Aqua, and Shion. Yeah, the constant shitting on Hunter in the Owl House is kind of cringe. Um, yeah. Oh no, I didn't get a diagonal bingo. I'm gonna circle hypocrisy though on our little bingo sheet. Got another one. Random reference to other media. Yes, she did do that. She didn't mention My Little Pony though, so that's good. Seems hypocritical considering how much she gushes about Zuko. Ah, but Zuko's not white. Where does Sora's mom fit into all of this? The parents don't really matter. It's since considering it's about coming of age and growing up. And on Destiny Islands, like the kids have a lot of Sora's feelings beg to differ. Yes, but that's how Sora feels. That's not how the story, like Sora the character and the story of Kingdom Hearts are two different entities. Yes, Kairi is very important to Sora, but that doesn't mean that Kairi is a main character in the way that Riku and Sora are. I do believe that Kairi is very important to Sora and Riku, honestly. God. But yeah, the parents don't show up for very intentional reasons. I don't know if we're gonna watch another Wooly video. Oh, I do want to. I have a short that I want to watch on live. Are you guys ready to cringe? You guys ready to cringe? You guys ready for cringe? It's time for cringe.
I'm
It's cringe
can't find
time.
my goggles.
Bonnie, do this.
Okay, now what? Mommy, are you a wizard?
They were on your forehead, Bon.
I think it's more likely you're a wizard. Mommy, I can't find.
Dying of cringe. Always feels super gross whenever she does the baby voice. Me too. I think that the Bonnie is voiced by Michaela doing the baby voice. It was. Yeah, I don't know. I'm something of a writer myself. Oh, thanks. Have a good day at work. The VOD will be up. Lily's a prime example of why aliens will never contact us. That's not endearing. This is endearing. Ugh, yeah. The baby voice reminds me of Jar Jar, and I didn't know why. Yeah. She also voice acts the same way she normally talks. Yeah, that's because like despite what she says, like the Lily is in the comics is a self-insert. She tries to pretend that it isn't a self-insert, which is weird, but it is obviously a self-insert. There's nothing wrong with with self-inserts. I was going to make a comic. So if you see my little Crim avatar, Crimp as I call him because Crim and Imp, she has floaters on because she's getting in the pool. That's why she needs her goggles. Anyway, I totally lost my train of thought. It's gone. Sorry. To steal a Yahtzee quote, Lily doesn't write. She makes a mess with a pen. Oh yeah, right, self-inserts. Yes, I was originally going to use my little crimp avatar in a webcomic about toxic friendships and like getting past them. And it was going to be semi-autobiographical, and it was just going to be this character with like black hair instead of blue hair. And it was going to have like a best friend that they had a very toxic friendship with. And it was going to be like what was going to like be based on a friendship I had growing up, but also like include other friendships I had growing up. So yeah, it's fine to write self-inserts, but it's weird that she denies it. Her first long-lost fan fiction from 2008 was specifically about a trainer boinking a Gardevoir. Yeah, not surprised by that. Yeah, I mean, like yeah, I mean, like, my character is also a demon, but I was gonna be using being a demon as, like, a metaphor for being different and, ostracized. Oh, is Dan here? Dan! Hello, hi, I'm here now. Please give me a brief rundown of everything so far. The stream is over, Dan. I'm sorry. I'm just wrapping up now. I'm so sorry, Dan. Basically, we have confirmed that Lily definitely conforms to the bite model and the influence continuum. So she definitely has a cult of personality. I will say that as assertively as I can as a layman. I'm very old, 37, and while I practice witchcraft, it's being kind of that anyone could do. I am well, milady, I'm an atheist, so. Then summarize, Lamau. I just summarized. Also, we watched the anime list. Thank you for the brain rot. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Yeah, but I think we are gonna call that, I believe. Thank you. Thank you for watching. This will probably be my last live stream about Lily. I do have one edited video planned of her. I have one video planned about her. It's going to be the one about Stockholm. That's the last video that I have planned about her. But after that, I probably won't make any more Lily videos. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I am doing a gaming stream tomorrow. It'll probably be Pokemon Blue. And yeah, thanks for coming, Britt. I'm honored. You're welcome anytime. And if anybody wants to join my Discord, it should be in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm almost at 500. I think I'm getting close to 500 followers, which is what I need to get monetized. So if you guys could help me out there, that would be amazing, and I would really appreciate it. Bye-bye.